Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Remix.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. You know what time it is. A little fix, AM and the PM crossover, only on A2D Radio. Every show, we're brought to you by our doc. Make them yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Jam-packed show for you, like always tonight. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brutto, Ralph Delvecchio, Greg Milakovic, Frank Vespi. We're all here tonight, fam. We're all here to talk to you. Like I said, there you can find specializedphysicaltherapy.com there on the bottom. Let's get into it a little bit. I'll have a crumb of the day later on the show, and it's regarding the NFL. All right, and we'll get into it. It's not the time or the place right now to get into it. We'll finish the show with it. Well, in a little Eagles rant session, because I know people still want to get stuff off their chest, and there's so many reports still coming out. And it's almost like, how are we getting this much information out? Like, how is this much information leaking, and how is this much information coming out? Like, it was on fire, and now it's burning down. It's like the Eagles are burning to the ground. So we'll talk about how the firefighters can put this one out. Good luck. We have to build our own team. So we'll pick from Philly athletes, and we'll get to choose which team is our best team out of the groupings. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll do that sort of in the middle of the show. 3 NBA teams that got better, 3 that got worse. We'll talk about that tonight with the NBA season right on the horizon. Confidence level and excitement level in the Sixers. And are we overdoing our confidence with the Sixers because of what we went through with the Eagles? And the Sixers are a little bit of a breath of fresh air right now. So we'll talk about that. Sixers roster looks to be finished, right? Looks to be done. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, but now it really is done. And we'll talk about their expectations. We'll dive into the Western Conference a little bit tonight. We'll talk about Russell Westbrook heading over to the Washington Wizards and John Wall and the ridiculous contract heading to Houston and a first-round pick. We'll talk about having maybe the Sixers looks like they're opening up against the Wizards on opening night for them. So, and the first time in 3 years the Sixers aren't playing on Christmas Day, which is upsetting because like you brought in real basketball guys and now you're not playing on Christmas Day. I mean, grow up, NBA. I mean, grow up one time, Peter Pan. Okay, that's a joke. It's a joke. You run the Lakers out there. Sure, the Lakers will be out there, huh, Ralphie?
That is correct.
They're running around. Them cuties are running around. Put us on Christmas Day. Start to become a tradition here in Philly. And you take us off of it. You know what I mean? Especially when we're better. I don't like that. But our poll question, brought by Ambuck Services, AMBUCKservices.com, 20% off. Let them know A2D sent you. Gutters, gutter guards, gutter installations, all that stuff. AmbuckServices.com. Our poll question, Simmons, Green, Thybulle, Tobias, and Embiid will be the Sixers starting 5. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Please like, please subscribe, please follow, please download. Help us help you. Comment in tonight. We're going to talk heavy basketball tonight. And like I said, a lot of other things on the table. A lot of other things. We're going to build our own team. We'll have a rant session with the Eagles. I'll rant about the NFL later on in the show in my crumb of the day. But we're going to talk to Sixers, man, because it feels good. All right? So, like, if you talk about confidence and excitement level, the excitement level should be off the charts because it feels good. We feel like something different happened here. All right? Because I was checking out A2D reviews before I get into the poll. I was just checking out A2D reviews. 4.5 out of 5, which is fine. Okay, we'd love everybody to go review the page over on Facebook and give us a 5-star. We'd love yous. All right, but there was somebody in there, and this is what happens in 2020. Here's a little doesn't recommend, and you know why? Because we sort of stuck by Brett Brown for one more year, right? Because we stuck by Brett Brown for one more year, and because there was a screenshot of a bunch of people shitting on Brett Brown. So we didn't agree with him at the time. Agree to disagree radio. Keep in mind, where feelings don't get involved. We're either on the same side, we're an opinion, or we're not. And you're going to give us a bad review. It's a joke. It's a joke. All right, so if you guys could you give us a 5-star? Thanks. So, our poll question, Simmons, Green, Thybulle, Tobias, and Embiid will be the Sixers starting 5 this year. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Chime in. I already see Gabriel saying disagree. I want to know who you got then, guys. So if it's not that 5, who do you have? I agree to that 5 because that 5 makes the most sense to me. It's like if you threw them all out there and you told me which 5, Tom, makes the most sense to you, I'm saying this 5. Because we know Ben's going to run the point. Danny Green's used to starting in this league. The only question mark you throw in there is Thybulle. But I still think I think he starts because just because he starts doesn't mean he finishes. So that really doesn't matter. I think there'll probably be different starting 5s at times. I agree with Tobias obviously start and Embiid obviously start. I think 4 out of them 5 are definitely starting. Mm-hmm. Simmons, Green, Tobias, and Embiid are guaranteed starters. So the only one you could really disagree with me on here would be Thybulle, and I would ask you who. Because you're not moving Green to the 3 and putting Seth in. It doesn't make sense. You want that off your bench. You want that instant offense off your pine. Now, there might be times Seth starts. That's just how the NBA goes. You know what I mean? But for the most part, he's going to be a guy who's better suited coming off your bench as like your 6th man because it's instant offense, something that we've lacked here. All right, there's been a lot of conversations coming out from Doc over the last 2 days. I know we'll get into that. A lot of interesting little tidbits. But he's excited about his roster, and rightfully so. And I'm excited about that potential starting 5. I think it's an extremely good one. I think it's tough. I think it's a great defensive lineup and can score. You know what I mean? Like, I look at that 5 and I say, okay, the only one that hurts you scoring-wise is Thybulle, right? It's the only one. Everybody else on the court can score, right? Everybody else on that court can, at any night, drop over 20. You know Joe's going to drop over 20 a night. But, like, everybody else on the court there, Simmons, Green, and Tobias, can drop 20 any night. I mean, Danny Green can at times. Not going to do it consistently, but there's going to be times he gets hot and drops 20. You know what I mean? Just the way the season goes. But all them guys are scorers. I mean, you can call Ben whatever you want. He still scores the basketball. Like, this guy doesn't shoot doesn't mean he doesn't score. Still scores. Still goes to the line. Still makes an impact on the offense side of the basketball. Right? So you would think Tobias is even going to get better looks now because of the spacing. Right? So you expect maybe his average goes up a little bit with Doc in the house. And then you know what Joe is when he's on the court. So you already know what you're getting out of Embiid offensively. So I don't know what other starting 5, the way this roster has shaped out right now, makes more sense than that 5. Because the small forward's the problem. Who you putting at the 3 then if it's not Thybulle right now? You're a little limited there. Unless you move Danny there, and then who's running your 2? You're going to tell me Shake? I think Shake's better suited coming off the bench right now until proven otherwise. Maxey, I think there might be a time he starts. Not now, though. I love the kid, but I don't know if he's not starting off the bat, right? So, I mean, a lot of guys you're going to tell me you're going to start are unknowns in terms of full-time production, right? You know what I mean? Danny Green's a known commodity on what he's going to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay? The only one, offensively, Thybulle, you don't know, but he's athletic. He's a good wing defender for a young kid, and he's tough for a young kid, right? So you expect him to get a little bit better. So that's like the only question mark in that 5. But then you would move Green to the 3, and then Shake would probably start. But I don't know if Shake Milton's a starter in this league, right? I think Shake has a better service to your basketball team off the bench. So we want to know what everybody thinks about it. Do you agree or disagree? Simmons, Green, Thybulle, Tobias, and Embiid will be the Sixers starting 5. I'll say I'll agree to it. If you disagree, we want to know your 5. Gabriel, not yet though. I mean, he said I think that Maxey will be instead of Thybulle with Green at 3, but not right away.
maybe mid-season.
Yeah,
possibly.
I mean, I agree. I'm higher on Maxey than I am Thybulle. So, yeah, of course. I mean, there's going to be a time. Amin says Danny Green can't drive. He's strictly a 3-and-D. And that's fine, but we don't need him to drive. Ben Simmons drives to the basket. Tobias Harris drives to the basket. I don't need more drivers. I need guys who can sit down and hit some threes. You know what I mean? That's what we need. That was our biggest weakness to this basketball team. Prism, what's up, brother?
What's up, Prism?
Cheers. Marquis said, Doc said he doesn't care about Ben shooting, which will make him unstoppable. What's he going to say? He cares about him. He knows how talented he is. So, I think they're going to get the best out of him, guys. I really do. And I don't care what happened in LA at the end there. I mean, them guys, when you're getting paid that much money and you're an NBA champion like Kawhi Leonard is, I mean, you start needing to hold yourself goddamn responsible on coming to practice on time and other things. That's not on Doc Rivers. That's on a grown-ass man that get to the practice on time. All right? That's on a grown-ass man. And we already know Kawhi's a crumb. We already know he's a crumb, even though he's great. We already know he's a crumb. And Paul George is a piece of shit. So I don't even care. Paul George is a crumb brulee. You know what I mean? Crumb of all crumbs. So I don't care what happened with the Clippers. You know what I mean? You have too many prima donnas. I don't think we're built on prima donnas here. I really don't. Joe Embiid's not a prima donna to me. Ben Simmons, say what you want. You're not a first-team all-defensive guy, and you're a prima donna. Yet. Could be one day. I don't know. Right now. But tell me what you guys think. And Ion says Curry's starting, but he's not, though. He's not a starter. He was leaning towards the idea in his press conference, you're saying? All right. I mean, listen, he's going to try things, but I take pressers for what they are.
Yeah.
Especially in this city.
Yeah.
The politicians are talking. I'm not listening. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at that. So what do you guys think? Malachi, Morton, I'll get the one more, and then we'll send it around the room here. I think we have a great roster, and the lineups will change over time. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think you're stuck on one lineup right now. I think you're stuck on three guys that are always going to be out there in terms of your starting lineup. You know what I mean? Danny Green doesn't always have to start, but Ben, Joe, and Tobias are always starting. So, the other two, I understand, they're interchangeable. This isn't a hard agree or disagree stance poll question, right? It's not like, well, that's all it's going to be. You know what I mean? It's not. And just because I agree to it, I just might be what they run out opening night. That could very well be something different. I'm not in his head. Listen, this is a new regime. I ain't in their head yet. I got to give this head some time. I got to give this some time before I'm up in their head. So that's how I look at it. Patrick Bernard, yo, brother, you concerned about Doc Rivers being surrounded by other good coaches? No, because I think he is surrounded by great coaches, Patrick. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's a better staff overall, top to bottom. That's how good that staff is. So, we'll see. We shall see. So, what do you boys think to the poll?
Go ahead, Ralphie.
You can go, Rye. You can go.
All right. Okay. I disagree with the poll. Just based, and I'm cool with that starting five that you laid out there, Tom, with Thybulle at the 3 and Danny at the 2. I've been saying this starting lineup starting 5 the past couple weeks, and based off of Doc Rivers, and again, we can say it just technically wasn't an oppressor, so maybe I can't say like, oh, we'll take it with a grain of salt, but it's just the news and notes, and which we'll go over in a little bit from the opening days of training camp, and this kind of ties in with a couple things. I truly believe that starting the season, I don't know how long it will last, but to this poll question, I think the starting 5 is going to be Ben, Shake, Danny Green, Tobias, Joel. Because Doc Rivers has been very open in saying that he believes, and they're using him a lot, so far in training camp, and he's talked about this, that he could be a more defensive-styled Lou Williams, and that he's going to free him up to be even more of a Shake Milton than what we saw last year, to where we're going to be expecting even more from him. And then I see that, and I think, okay, well, we used him a lot in the second half of the season. Hell, Brett Brown tried making the offense go through him. So the biggest two things I can take away from what we've heard and seen so far in this training camp is, number one, anybody in the chat or anybody at home saying, oh, well, Ben Simmons is going to play the 4, that's not going to happen, because he's basically said 100 times that the offense is going to run through Ben Simmons playing what he's always done. So everyone's that's rooting for Simmons to play the 4 or him not to play point guard, even in a positionless age of the NBA that we're in, that's out the door. And I think with him being so open and saying that, hey, we think that he could be a flat-out scorer, Shake Milton, that is, and that we're expecting more from him and we're going to ask more from him, that tells me that, you look at the options. While I completely understand having Thybulle in there, especially to add, another defensive presence, I look at, okay, if you're not doing that and you truly believe that Thybulle was off the bench, you're not putting Seth Curry at the 2. I don't believe Maxey, not because I don't think he's any good, but just based off of only being on the team for 30 days with no true offseason, unless he really lights the world on fire in training camp and he's just awesome. I don't expect them throwing him in the fire right away.
Well, let me ask you a question though, because who do you like? I look at Shake Milton and I look at Maxey, and to be honest with you, I don't really. I mean, with all due respect to Doc, I don't care what he said, because you're going to do that in a month. You know what I mean? You're turning him into a Lou Williams, but a great defender in a month. You know what I mean? And so I can't buy into that. But I mean, Maxey has had a long off season of working out because the college basketball got shut down. So he even had more time to put in NBA work, right? To get his body like NBA ready because of the shutdown. So I think a lot of these kids might come in a little bit stronger than expected, even though the class wasn't heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or deep per se. But I mean, if I'm going to start one of them too, I'm starting Maxey then, because that's a guy I expect to start down the line. Not a shot at Shake Milton or a shot at starting Shake Milton. It's just, to me, if I'm going to go, because like Shake Milton hasn't done enough to me to like separate what I think Maxey could be. You know what I mean? So it's not like Shake's been this like consistent scorer, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't been bad, but I mean, I'll go with a guy that I think has a little bit more pedigree of scoring than Shake right now. If I was going to go to one of them too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that makes sense. Like I said, if like this is just based off of like what we think will happen. What I truly want, I want Maxey starting at the 2, just because I believe he can handle it. I just don't know if they would do it right away. And Chrome, to that thing, we talked about that last week, wanting Lou Williams back. It sounds like Doc Rivers thinks that he has that guy or somebody that can be that guy. And plus, I'm sure Doc's thinking, okay, well, Shake Milton, contractually wise, is here for 3 years. He's younger. He's cheaper. Let's see if I could turn this guy into something somewhat feasible to a Lou Williams, especially if you would have to trade for Lou Williams only on a 1 year.
The thing about this, he's saying Lou Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If he's saying like comparing him to Lou Williams, which I can't do that, but I mean, that's fine. He can say whatever he wants. But then he's talking about a 6-man. He's talking about a guy, one of the first guys off your bench then. Because if he's trying to make him into that guy, then that even more solidifies him maybe coming off the bench in a way. If you think about it, like, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking on the fly here.
I would
like that. I mean, and he's telling me that he wants him to be his first scorer off the bench and a guy who can play defense on the bench and work his way into a starting role.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree no, because, I mean, that makes sense. And also, I don't know. I just think that they view Seth Curry as that guy. But you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but there's no view. I mean, like when you're putting a roster together like this, you're getting deeper, right? So you're going to view a couple guys like that off your pine. If you came out with your second unit, and you got to think about it deeper for a second, boys. You want a point guard running your second unit, right? So that'd be Shake to me, right? As my backup point guard.
Yeah, because we really don't have any other guards.
Yeah, so then Shake's my backup point guard coming in with Seth. So now I'm getting that combo off my bench, which could be some pretty much instant offense, hopefully. So if I'm looking at it like, if I'm looking at it like that, I can't really start Shake because I can't run Ben and Shake together. There's times I probably can. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's situational basketball, I absolutely can. But what do you guys think of that? Because then, if he's my backup point guard, I can say positional basketball all he goddamn wants. Somebody brings the ball up. You know what I mean? Somebody runs your offense. So I understand what he means by positional basketball, and that's more on the run. You know what I mean? But overall, who's running your backup point guard then? I just really thought of that right now.
I'm saying Curry is backup point guard, but he's not an on-ball. And I know Doc's saying he wants him to be more on ball just because he's a high IQ player, but he's never really been that guy. Shake's more. I mean, Seth Curry's more of just an open jump shot. Just to be wide open and just shoot the ball.
I mean, I think his whole career he's been off ball.
Yeah, so I I don't know
Even
if he
was
would.
with Dallas this year coming off the bench. I don't think they had him on either
No.
running the point or even carrying it up at points.
Yeah, so I
I
don't
think he
even
was more off
think
ball.
I don't even think Doc Rivers, who's obviously in the family, I don't think he would trade Josh Richardson for Seth Curry just to reinvent Seth Curry. You know what I mean? I think you're bringing in Seth Curry to do exactly what he's always done, and that's bring him in for his 3-point percentage. No, so that makes sense. Well, then, all right, so then I'll say this then. I think it should be Maxey. If Doc is truly as high on the kid that he is, I mean, he's been talking about the kid like he's awesome, and we were high on the kid too. But if he has that much faith in the kid, then put him at the 2. Because we want that kid to eventually be that anyway. You know what I mean? Try it out. And if it doesn't work, then maybe you go to what you were saying, Tom, to where you put Danny at the 2 and Thybulle at the 3. There's going to be a lot of moving parts. I mean, like we've talked about with Doc and Daryl, the first 20 so games, it's going to be all experimental.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to be seeing a lot of different things.
Nobody's saying he doesn't have a good handle, man. Nobody's saying he can't dribble the basketball. Nobody's saying he can't run the point at times. But like in the overall best case scenario, I'd rather him coming off the ball. Mm-hmm. You know, in the best case scenario, that doesn't mean he can't handle the basketball. You know, most guards in this league can handle the basketball and can bring it up. So, you know, that's what you started talking about positional basketball is when, you know, all your guards, you have confidence in bringing the basketball up. So not a bad one, right? I mean, I don't disagree with that because I like Maxey a ton. So, you know, I would like to see that. I would hope that
and he's a flat out bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to say that we don't have any true scorers on the starting 5 because we do. I mean, Joel's that, Tobias can be that, but somebody that I believe that can score a lot of different ways is somebody like Maxey. Now, is that going to be right away? Maybe not, but I think that's the player that we got.
Agreed. Greg?
Yeah, no, I also disagred with a poll.
And Island talk.
What's that?
Island talk.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think Danny Green's here, so you know that's there. But even so, I think you put him at the 3 and you put Curry at the 2. And that's the starting lineup for me.
Wait, I'm sorry, Greg. What was yours again? You were like breaking up there for me.
Green at the 3, Curry at the 2.
Oh, so you are starting Seth. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But wait, you got Green starting, but you don't think he's going to be here?
Well, no, I said, well, that's part of my disagree. But then if we're going that he's going to be here, then that's going to be my.
What if he isn't here? What if he isn't here?
Well, then whoever we're trading for him is going to be here and start.
Now you're still on this one, huh? Can't let this one go.
Well, no, I mean it's something I think and feel. So I'm not going to stop thinking it.
No, we can tell. We can tell. We're not mad at you. I mean, you just think he's going. You're so stuck. Yeah. It's so funny. You bring it up every goddamn time. I mean,
well, when we talk about starting lineups and he's in there, and I don't think he's going to be here.
What rumors came out to even make you feel that way?
No, I truly think. Just looking at the money in the contract, he's just another logical guy that can be flipped and moved that somebody else also will want as well, because he does have a skill set and a talent that obviously fits in the NBA and fits on most teams. You know what I mean? So that's it. You know what I mean? It's no ill will towards Danny. You know what I mean? It's no, he can't fit with this team. That's not it. It's just you look at the contract. You look at the contract and the 1-year deal and the expiring contract to be able to flip it and potentially get someone younger because of it. For a team it might be cap strap and stuff like that. Just factoring all those, it just in my mind it makes logical sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
I guess the key word of that is in my mind, and we all know that my mind's a mess. So take that for what it's worth.
Well documented. But no, what I'll say is I just don't think they went out to get him to deal him. They went out to get him because they think he fits on what they're trying to do, and I'll stand by that. And that's
fair.
My mind's a mess too. So I mean, welcome to the mess mind island.
No, and the proposed one on the poll question isn't bad. I just don't think Matisse is ready right now. You know what I mean, to start.
We're ready for 20 minutes though. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
I get you. I get you because you're right. There's so many teams when you go back to the old Warriors before they got super super good, starting Zaza, Pachulia. You know what I mean? And you're right. There are guys that start that don't really play much more of the game. And maybe that is the case because maybe you're right. You start Matisse and then he locks down the 2 or the 3, knowing that he's obviously the better defender than Green. And that's not a shot at Green, but that's what Matisse does. Right? You know what I mean? And so Matisse is going to lock up the better of the 2, and then Green takes the lesser of the 2. And again, not necessarily a shot because we know Danny Green's a willing defender, and he's really good at it as well. But Matisse is younger, probably a bit quicker, especially laterally. So I don't necessarily hate the even proposed one. I don't even know who would start over Matisse because if you have Matisse at the 3, that's kind of where that's kind of where we miss right now on this roster is depth of that 3 position.
I'm surprised at you, Greg.
Why?
And I'm not disappointed because of the reasons you'll figure out. But I'm surprised you didn't put your boy on there based off of some recent news.
No, because I'm not over. I mean, yeah, I'd love me. So Corky's going to be around, and he's going to be hopefully in the rotation.
For him, Greg.
In the rotation, but
big plans.
There's no logical reasoning why he would be starting.
Okay, I just wanted to hear you say that because I agree.
When have I ever been delusional?
Well, I mean, do we have? I mean, we tape these shows, Greg. These shows are on tape.
They're all documented.
Yeah.
Joseph says, "Will Doc Rivers finally make Ben Simmons take jump shots? Well,
No.
Ben's got to make himself take. That's up to Ben.
Shooting
You know, that's up to the grown man.
I think he's going to make them play aggressive. I think the passive aggressive Ben is, or just the passive Ben needs to go away and should go away.
He's talking about the whole. Okay, Marquis talking about the whole team.
The bench, yeah.
Bench. All right, we'll get to that in a second. Malachi says Ben, Danny, Tobias, and Embiid are starters. The question is who would be the 5th member. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the missing. That's the missing piece. Which way you want to run it? I just think you run Matisse early on. And he gets his minutes early and might not get them minutes late. You know what I mean? And that could be sort of how that works for him. But we'll see how they do it. I mean, I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how they do it. And I'm just excited to see this basketball team back on the court. Frank, Ralph, what do you guys say to the poll?
For me, I agree to the poll right now. I do believe Matisse is going to have his minutes, but later on in the season, I think we're going to have a completely different starting lineup. I think Morey has one more move up his sleeves, as I said last couple of weeks. I think Morey has another move up his sleeves. We are going to start with those 5 as of right now. I think Tease is going to get his minutes, and I think, hey, we have a coach that finally makes adjustments. So if Tease doesn't work out or Danny Green doesn't work, you have a better bench where you can pick and choose who you want depending on your situation. And if Morey says, I like that lineup, hey, I'm standing by my GM.
Yeah, well, I mean, Frank's with Greg in a way. He thinks something else is coming. Doesn't think they're done. So we'll see if that comes to fruition.
We just got the ultimate mad scientist here. You know what I mean? Like, you think we made a lot of moves with Hinkie here. I mean, just now that we got, Hinkie's boss on top of it, you know what I'm saying? So it's just,
something's definitely coming. Something's
because
coming.
of that, that's what's got my mind kind of triggered on the asset flipping. You know what I mean? Like, that's what obviously Hinkie did a lot of. And when you don't have the cap space, you have to get creative, and obviously expiring contracts are that. That's my end. I don't know who Frank, thinks is moving, but
I mean, as you said, the expiring contracts. I know Danny Green has been the source of many rumors so far, but
who has?
I think it might involve Danny Green, or it could be some big surprise waiting. But as of right now, I'm leaning in towards Danny Green may be moved.
This is bad. This is bad if Frank and I are on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I'm out on you too. I'm totally out on you too. I totally 120 million % disagree. Mad Measy says Matisse still isn't ready to start.
Leave me hanging.
I don't know what ready to start.
Leave me hanging.
I'll high five him. Other way, buddy. I don't know what Matisse still isn't ready to start. I mean, what's ready to start in this league? Like he's not starting to be your number one option. You know what I mean? He's starting just for a role defensively. I mean, you have so many scorers out there. You know what I mean? Like you're strictly out there to play defense. I mean, starting and coming off the bench really isn't a big difference if your minutes are the same. You know what I mean?
But that cannot hurt you offensively, though, knowing that when it gets to the offensive side, he's not really a guy that's going to put the, drive to the lane or even shoot that well. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, at least if he'll attempt them. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know if his offensive game got better. I got to assume he got a little bit better, right? I got to put a little bit of work in, I would hope. So, I mean, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I don't need him to score. Like, if he's running 20-minute spurts, he runs a 20-minute, 22-minute game, and he plays the first 6-7 minutes of the game, and he's out for a minute, what does it matter? You know what I mean? So, to me, it doesn't like starting, coming off the bench, doesn't matter. Who's playing the last 8 minutes? Who's playing the last 6, 7, whatever? Who's playing those minutes down the stretch?
Yeah.
Everybody who's watched the NBA knows, you can miss a whole game and turn on not even the fourth quarter, but halfway through the fourth quarter, and you see everything you need to see. And you know everything you need to know. Right.
The only thing I question with Matisse is a lot of times last year there was just a lot of inconsistency. And I get it, he's young, you're right. And maybe there was a lot of dysfunction with Brett, right? So this is where maybe that, the new regime and the whole new staff help solidify a role. But there was times even on the floor, he looked just like he didn't know what he was doing, even on the defensive end at times.
No.
I mean, so that's where I kind of like.
Let me clarify something, Greg. I'm not even a Matisse Thybulle guy. You understand this?
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
I'm not a Matisse Thybulle guy. Like, he's whatever, right? I'm just trying to fill in the blanks, if that makes sense, on what would make sense. So what coming off your bench makes sense too. Makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
It makes sense a million times.
And hell, he's a first-round pick, so he better be starting soon.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta run out a first-round pick. Say, did you get better or not? Because I can always take you back from starting. I can always go put somebody else in, and that goes for any of them, really, right, guys? So I mean, I don't know if there's anything guaranteed to start, like a certain five that any of us can sit here and say it's like this is it. This is it. This one, the poll question one, makes the most sense because of who plays what positions, right? Mm-hmm. It makes like the most sense. But I mean, I'm not going to guarantee that's his start. That's his starting five, and I think it could change 5 times throughout a year. I mean, teams change their starting fives all the time. They mix and match guys in and out. So it's like it just depends on matchups. It depends on so many different things that you might see different starting fives. But most likely 4 out of them 5, unless the Greg and Frank's point that he gets traded, are going to be starting, and that's what you're going to.
Absolutely agree there. If he's here, your 4 out of your 5 spots are locked down. No doubt about it.
I think Malachi puts it perfectly. Says in the first couple games, the starting lineup will be different. Each player is going to be fighting for minutes besides Ben, Tobias, Green, Embiid, Seth, and Dwight.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think everybody's going to be fighting for minutes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bringing in
right now, who's your centers? It's Embiid and Dwight, and that's it, correct?
Tony Bradley.
Oh yeah, Tony Bradley. Okay,
but I think Tony's just a camp body, maybe a G League guy. But
I want him bringing in Dwayne Dedman, but that's just me.
All right, it's a good question.
Did somebody acquire Dedman or
no? He's a free agent.
Who's that?
Dwayne
Dedman. I think somebody signed him.
He got released though.
Yeah, he got traded and then got released. Yeah.
I don't need any big man. I need another small forward. I'm good on big men with them too, and if I got guy's going down to the G League, I can always bring him up if I needed to. Dion's Booker says fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. Who's on the floor? Well, them 4 definitely are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where Seth too.
Probably Seth, and then maybe. And
I take Matisse out.
No, he's not in there.
I know. I just said that. You're 4.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
You're 4 veterans.
You put Seth in there. So it'll be Ben, Seth, Danny, Tobias, and Joel Embiid. Yeah, that would be my 5.
And the only other person I think it could eventually be is Maxey. Eventually, not immediately, but just because he provides instant scoring.
Yeah, we just got to see.
You guys see first. Yeah.
Again, I think that 5th spot could be a couple guys depending on the game flow.
Yeah.
And depending on the games they're having. You know what I mean? If Shake's having a good night, you could see him in there. You know what I mean? Or, matchup wise, it could be a couple different ones. But I would agree that if you had to throw a roster, hey, pickup game right now, 5 minutes left, you're down 3. Who's your squad? Then yeah, that 5 with Curry or that 4 with Curry is the group.
Yeah, most likely. Jordan says we need a 3-4 tweener. Yeah, we need another one.
Yeah.
We're looking for another one. So, man, me said don't sleep on Homie Anderson getting burned either. I mean,
he's an effort guy. He's just an effort guy. That's all he is. He's back end of the bench, effort guy. He can give you some positive minutes. That's all he's going to do.
Yeah, but Prism, how many centers are we going to have? You know what I mean? When Joel Embiid's expected to play 30-plus minutes a game. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can have 3, I guess. I mean, you could, but, to me, it's like you're missing another small forward, though, / power forward. Like, that's really your position. Like, you know what I mean? You're not going to run Embiid at the 4 a lot. You might, you know what I mean? You might give him a little run there against certain matchup teams that are big, but most time he's, you know what I mean? You're not. So it's just tough. It's just tough.
I guess the only value to bring in another big man is depending on how much they're planning on playing Embiid during the regular season. Are they going to give him off nights? You know what I'm saying? Like that's because then you're running out there, on centers with Dwight, who really doesn't score that much, and Tony Bradley, who's just a guy right now. You know what I'm saying? Just having that extra insurance. That's all.
Yeah, but I don't know who's got to go to make that happen too with this roster, because then you're probably taking a guard out or something. You know what I mean? I don't know how many guys they have committed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd probably be like Brokoff or something.
Yeah, it's just
one of the 4s.
I mean, you can have 3. Like I said, Dion, like you can have 3. I mean, it's not unheard of. But when one's getting that many minutes, and your second one can get 2, it's hard to like justify the signing because where are the minutes coming from?
Yeah, it's not like your backup 2 or Norvell Pell and Kyle O'Quinn. Your backup, your backup or your true backup is an absolute NBA veteran, whether you like him or not. He's an NBA veteran who's won in the league. You know what I mean? So if there's more minutes for a third guy, please tell me where.
Yeah, because Dwight's going to defend. Dwight's going to score enough. And it's play above the rim. He plays above the rim, so he'll score. He'll get offensive rebounds. He'll keep plays alive. Like, he's a hustle guy now. So he's going to give you that minutes that Embiid's not giving you, and you only got 48 to fill. So it's tough to justify. It's just tough to justify unless somebody goes down. Now, somebody goes down, then you got to go out to the market or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know what they're looking at because I haven't seen this organization run yet, right?
Sure.
But I will tell you that's one thing that's intriguing, Ralphie, and then I want you to go to the poll and the family out there. Listen, one thing that's really intriguing and one thing that really pulled at my heartstrings, okay, is Doc says we haven't made one decision without us all at the table. Did you hear what I just goddamn said to you guys? I mean, Eagles, please take some notes. All right, please. If the Eagles are listening, which I know you are, take a note or two, Jeffrey. What Doc Rivers said is, you know what, we haven't made a decision here without all of us at the table. And all of us means him, Elton, Morey. Without all of them at the table. So not one move for Sixers was made by anybody without the other guy's opinions involved in it or thoughts. You understand what that does for what direction this organization is going in? That's what winning organizations do. Top to bottom, they're on the same page. They buy into each other, right? And they trust each other, right? And egos don't get involved. And that's what we're watching. So that's just something that I heard today from Doc and really, really pulled at my heartstrings, right? Because it's good to know. It's good to know because we're going through the opposite with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, we totally are. Guys won't even go into the box together.
David, Isaiah Joe, he's going to be probably one of the two-way guys. He's going to be like the Shayok of last year. He's good. I like him, but he's just not ready yet.
Yeah. I mean, like, listen, you don't expect second-round picks to be ready.
No.
Yeah. And the other one, Paul Reed, I think he's going to get a two-way as well.
I don't know.
He's probably going to spend most of the season in Delaware.
I kind of disagree. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I think he could end up being maybe the backup 4, especially if they trade away Scott.
True.
And Tony Bradley probably, like, real quick, Rye, Tony Bradley's going to make this team, though.
Yeah,
because
no, I agree.
there's your third center right there because you don't have to justify giving them. I mean, Dwayne Dedmon, I got to justify giving him minutes. I got to justify giving Dwayne Dedmon 15 minutes a night. I don't know where I'm finding it for you. That's the thing. So, he won't sign here because, one, he's not going to get any minutes. So it'd be like, you know what I mean? He's going to get 0 minutes almost. You know what I mean? You're lucky if you give him a 3-minute run. So at least with Tony Bradley, I can justify giving him 5 minutes a night.
Yeah. No, I agree. The only reason why I brought up Dedmon was if Tony Bradley had a horrible camp and they cut him. Just because they wouldn't lose anything now by cutting him because the Pistons, because he was in the Zaire Smith trade, and the Pistons cut Zaire Smith 3 days ago. So it's not like, hey,
any of them guys are up for grabs, right? Any of them level guys are always up for moves and shakes and etc. So I'll never say never. I'll just say with what we had, it wouldn't happen.
No, and I'll add this real quick before we go to Ralphie. Tony Bradley's making $3.5 million. We could end up moving him in a deal because that's actually a good chunk of money compared to because we have a lot of $1 million guys. We could use Tony Bradley's contract to get moved for a possible, future move, coming in the season. You know what I'm saying? To where he just might be on the team just because he's making $3.5 million and you could put him in a trade.
Yeah, I mean, you could just try to get a second round pick for him or something like that, or compensation. You know what I mean? Something like that, right? If you're not giving him if he's not playing any minutes, you know what I mean?
Or you just, my point is, you throw him in there in a package and you use his money to match another player. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the hard thing with making the trades. And I think this is why Greg always goes to the Danny Green. It's because if you're making a substantial trade, you probably have to use Danny Green because he's making a lot of money, or more money than a lot of our other guys. Right, Greg?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you're right. You look at our roster, we get a bunch of $1.5 million guys, $2 million guys that don't add up if you need to make some sort of substantial move.
Yeah.
He says Dwight is our guy. He's better than a Quinn and Boban by a mile. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone did question that.
I don't think any moves are made from now until significant moves are made now until the deadline. If we want to talk about guys getting shipped to the deadline, that's a different conversation. I think right now, they're running with what they have, and they're trying to get as much work with what they have right now before the season starts in 3 weeks. So I mean, it's hard to keep thinking that move's coming until you're in season, you're working, you see what you have, and then you know what you need, right? Because you're not gonna know what you need until you start playing, right?
And I think go ahead. Oh yeah.
No. And that's real quick. And then when you start playing, you got a sample size on what you need. Because right now you think you're good. Right? We think we're good. We think we're in good shape. We might get in the season and say we need another shooter, right? We need another this. We need another that. So we're not going to know until we see him play. So I'm okay with going in with exactly what we have right now and find out what we got. So go ahead, Ralphie.
Yeah, no, I think that's a lot of teams' mindsets too, except for today with the trade with Russ and John. But I think I totally agree with you, Tommy. I think teams are going to hold off on trading until either the deadline comes up or a couple months into the season, just because the season's literally in 20 days from now. So yeah. I mean, making a move for a team, if it's a small trade, it is what it is for a player that's really not going to get any minutes for a cap dump. I can see that happen. But for a big trade, unlike what happened today, where a big player moves. I don't think that happens this close to the season starting. Just because you didn't have, the regular off season that you did with the mini camps and the training camps and stuff like that. And were they playing 3 to 4 preseason games, something like that. So
think about what the Lakers did, Ralphie. Yeah, too. And think about what the Lakers did, Ralph. I mean, they all made all their moves quick, early. Yeah, got them done so they can get in the camp and get moving with what they have. Right, Sixers same way, Milwaukee same way. I mean, these teams, you can't look at what Houston and Washington did today. They're both going to stink, right? I mean, Houston will always be decent as long as Harden's on the court. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Competitive. But in terms of John Wall's not going to play, but they're two organizations going in a different direction right now that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They can make these moves right now. Now, maybe you can say Washington's trying to put their best foot forward, and that move is sort of, hey, put your best foot forward. You know what I mean? Because Russell Westbrook's better than John Wall.
And he played.
Yeah, and you put him with Bradley Beal. I mean, you have a significant 1-2 punch. So Washington got better today. Facts absolutely got effing better because One, anything's better than John Wall, and Russell Westbrook is an all-star in this league and can play. I mean, he has flaws, but Bradley Beal's shooting makes up for his flaws. Ralphie, go ahead and finish.
And I was going to ask you guys this as well. Obviously, the 4 to 5 spots are pretty much locked in with Simmons and Tobias and Embiid, and you put Thybulle in there if you want to. So do you think going into camp they'll have an open competition for that 5th spot in the lineup, wherever it might be?
Yeah,
just an open competition.
I do. Now, I want to ask you a question, though, and circle back to you with this. You've seen Danny Green start for you last year. So, I mean.
Well, he started, and the crazy thing is, too, you got to remember, he started majority of his games, about, I think, 98% of the games last year for us at the 3, because we had KCP at the 2. So he played majority of the season as the 3. I don't know if you guys are going to go that direction, since you have Matisse there that can at least play the 3.
You think he's
but
better?
then you could put Danny back in his regular position at the 2.
You think Ralph? Do you think he'll be better at the 2, Danny Green?
Yeah, I think he is. I think somebody said in the comments, I forget who, that he's not going to be that consistent guy that's going to drive the lane and get buckets in the inside. He's more of a 3-and-D guy that can just sit there in the corner or out on the wing and just wait for his moment and the opportunity to shoot the 3.
Why would Beal demand a trade today? I mean, that doesn't make sense. Like, I would demand a trade if John Wall's contract was still here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
he's got to be excited. Yeah.
I mean, you guys act like Russell Westbrook's an issue, dude. Guys like to play with Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is a freaking competitor. You know what I mean? People like Russell. I mean, Russell gets a really bad rap. 2020 has no clue anymore, I feel like. I mean, Russell Westbrook is just a competitive cat. And I don't think there's no guys that have said, oh, I hate playing with Russell Westbrook. Like, that hasn't been said. Durant loves Russ. Harden loves Russ. I mean, Harden teamed back up with Russ. It's not a Russ Harden thing. It's an organizational thing. And I don't know any organization in their right goddamn mind that would take on John Wall's contract. None.
Yeah, I don't know why Wizards fans would be upset in comparisons to Rockets fans, because the Wizards actually have direction. And like I said, yeah. I mean, they're a solid team. All they need is a go-to big man. I know they have Lopez. They have
Ryu. They got Rue.
Well, yeah. What? Hachimura?
Yeah. That's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's more.
I think they have Thomas Bryant still there at the 5 for them. Who's
that's their starter.
Kid as well.
Thomas Bryant and Robin Lopez. But I'm saying, like,
they're an 8.
Yeah, 8 or 7. Yeah, 8 or 7.
No, don't do 7. Don't do that.
We all know how the East is, fellas.
No. Listen, we put some respect on the East. We're coming back, okay? It's our
I know.
But no, I won't go 7 seed. But no, they're probably better than the Bulls today. Sorry, Chicago, because
better than Atlanta. I don't give a shit. Their 2 players are better than any 2 players Atlanta's running out there. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook are better than.
Yeah, and Atlanta's biggest flaw is they're young. They don't know how to win yet. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to win yet. They're skilled as hell, but no, I'd say top wise, I would say Wizards probably have more talent just based off of their 2 big guys.
Prism gets it right. I mean, guys, Beal was pushing for the Wizards to make a trade or trade him.
He needed somebody to play with,
and he said make that trade. So he was pushing for Russell Westbrook. So listen to me. The Washington Wizards just became a way better team today, no matter what your feelings of Russell Westbrook are. Because for 72 games, that dude's going to flat out compete and be a dog. And
that sucks for us because they beat us even when they stink.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
We're going to see it opening night. Opening night, we play them.
You're going to play them opening night.
Did they release? Did they release that for the Sixers? The opening night schedule for them?
I just know the first game, and it's the Wizards.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's weird. If you go to NBA.com, nothing's out. Besides the Christmas stuff, and you go to like your own team schedule, and you're like, "Yo, are we playing?"
Right.
I think they're waiting. You know what I think, honestly, and I'm not trying to get a conspiracy. I think they're waiting to see how many players test positive before they give a full. Because I don't think they want to set something because they might have to push it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, I mean, they're going to have the same issue again. I mean, we're not going to get into this tonight, but they're going to have the same issue again because the NFL. Once the NFL bubbles, you know what I mean. You follow the money.
Yeah.
And I think the NBA can get away with it for a little bit of time. College basketball is going to have to figure out a bubble system. They all are going to have to, just because you don't want to lose players for games. You don't want to lose star players for games. You know, that's why my crumb a day later is going to be, you guys are going to love it because it ties into like because you're stubborn, You lost. Whoa, Don. Yo, Don.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
That's 50 Big Macs
We're
for
not
Ralph.
worthy.
That's 50 Big
We're
Macs.
not worthy.
Hey, Ralphie. Look at Don. Look at
Bam! Bam!
Look at you, Donovan. Love you, brother. We can't appreciate that. You don't know how much we appreciate that, man. That keeps us flying over here. That keeps us growing over here.
Rome says, "Damn, Don, can I get $5?"
I got 5 on it.
They to the OnlyFans.
Oh Lord!
Oh my God, my old heads know that one. Oh, here he goes. Here he is.
Oh, he's gonna be Clown City again.
The silent killer. He's back, Yusuf. I'm very happy with this trade, especially. I'll try to do it.
Can you do it with Yusuf's voice?
I'm very happy with this trade. I'm expecting very big things this season.
Here we go. I'm going to do the whole thing in Yusuf. Very happy with this trade, especially with Beal. Getting Russ here. Really. Being young. And also, Demi, I don't know his fucking name, who can be a star. The future is bright.
Avdia.
And I'm excited.
He's Israeli and Serbian.
And we're gonna beat you guys. And that's how you verbally, like, silently assault.
Yes, because you can't get mad at him because he's talking so quiet.
You just bent me over. I mean, sorry. That's what it feels like. You mean, oh, come on, Marquise. When did KD come out and crush Russ? When? I could have missed it. I don't remember KD running around hammering Russell Westbrook. When?
I feel like there was a time when he was with the Warriors.
Well, he's a goddamn snake. I mean, we're talking about some ship everywhere. Now, Russ stayed and competed, and KD went running. So
I thought the entire country sided with Russell back then. What are we now flipped? Everyone was saying that Durant was the snake.
Sorry, you.
There's a lot of notoriety you're talking about snakes, but it's Kevin Durant for you.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Yusuf. I mean, it felt right. Molly Maw's laughing. What's Jake saying?
ASMR. You don't know what the whisper. That's ASMR.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I didn't know.
Very
It's
quiet.
a genre on YouTube
I
don't.
with the sounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds and
Yep.
tapping.
David Roskin saying that you cancel the NHL. I don't know. I don't know, David.
No.
Certain hockey show would be very upset with you, David, because you
No,
said
it's not looking good. I'll tell you guys that. It's
no.
not good. Rome says Yusuf talks like he's in stealth mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yusuf talks like he's trying to serenade a crowd of senior citizens.
All I
How would
would
they
love
know?
to
They wouldn't be able to hear him. They wouldn't be able to hear him.
What?
Here we go. Marquis says, damn, Eagles and now Sixers playing Washington opening season. I guess the unstable Phillies will start the season playing Washington first next. Yep.
Who?
They did for a couple of years because I know I was at an opening day down in Washington.
Hell no to that question, David. Would you trade Beal for Zach LaVine? No. You already know my feelings on Zach LaVine, so don't even get me started.
Bradley Beal's a top 10 player in the league.
Yep. Marquise, what? Oh, ain't. I read that.
Oh, they have like the worst roster in the league.
Yeah.
But they have pieces though. You're absolutely right. But they have pieces.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They have
That
Toppin
could be.
and Barrett, who really can't play together.
They actually had a pretty somewhat good offseason, too.
I think so too. They were
They
able
got
to get some, they were able to
pieces,
get some
yeah.
assets for
Yeah.
Ed Davis. They got out of contracts. You know what I mean? Like
Like,
big
they released
contracts with
Taj
Leon Rhodes
Gibson.
now in there.
That Taj Gibson contract was absolutely horrendous last year. And they
but
got
they
out of
didn't
that.
but they can't win anything.
Yeah.
No,
I
they're going to be
completely
bad for
agree.
right now.
Yeah.
But I think they're.
I know. They got my guy. So,
RJ.
Roby Toppin.
huh? No.
He who shall not be named.
Former Laker.
Julius Randle.
Yeah, I like Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Julius Randle is a baller. Derek King says, what is our lowest floor for this year?
Ooh.
You know what it would be? Honestly, it would have to be injuries of some sort, and you're fighting for a 7-8 seed. Or there's other ways low floors. Tobias doesn't play better under Doc like we thought.
Mhm.
Okay, so if that were to happen, If he doesn't make any improvements in this system, trade deadline comes. Do you move or do you keep?
Well, it depends on.
Hypothetically, if he doesn't make any jumps in that system,
we're
like he
not
was
playing well.
when he was with the Clippers.
Okay, I'll give you this.
We all know his best numbers was with the Clippers and Doc Rivers.
Don't play well. If he doesn't play well enough and we're not playing well, then
If we're like the fifth seed.
But like, I'm not moving. Even if he's not playing well, but we're playing great, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not moving anybody.
Yeah.
Like if I'm playing great, I'm not moving anybody. Like I'm not doing what the Sixers did in 01 with AI and like Theo Ratliff. Like Theo Ratliff was balling, and they done it from Mutombo. Like I don't know if I make that move. Like I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to think about beating the Lakers in the finals, and they thought Mutombo could stop Shaq. Nobody was stopping Shaq.
No.
So you might as well be quicker than him. You know what I mean? You might as well be like, look, hindsight being 2020, going back to that year, you might as well be faster than him then. Because Theo could flat out defend. You can say whatever you want about him. He wasn't Mutombo, but he could flat out defend. And I think that move that year was like an all-in-the-win thing, which we all loved. But hindsight being 2020, I don't know if I make that move. And the same thing here. Like, I don't know if I'm making a move just to make it if we're playing extremely well. Right?
Yeah.
That's all. No, why would I take the bias for Kevin Love? Kevin Love.
No.
Yeah. Well, even one before that, it's not going to work money-wise for Zach LaVine, and it doesn't make sense. Why would the Bulls do that? Why would we do that?
That one?
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't make sense. The money doesn't work.
If I had NBA 2K with the salary cap turned off and I had free range on everything, then I would make that trade. But this is real life, so I'm not making that trade.
I probably can't make that trade just positionally.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like I have nobody to run the four. I have nobody to play the four like that. I'm sorry, Mike Scott at the four, but no, Mike Scott was in that trade. So now I'm trading all my fours. Like, nah, I can't. You guys got to lock in a little bit. Like this is going to be our roster right now. How can we win with it?
Yes.
Right? So we're going to get into our expectations. Go ahead, Ralphie. Sorry.
No, you trade that and Shake's going to be your four. Coming off the bench.
Freaking Maxey. Maxey's going to be playing center.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
David.
Going to be so guard heavy.
No. You're not allowed to say that. All right. You guys are looking so delicious. LeBron doesn't have to play the first fucking month. I'm so disgusted because that's how good that roster is. He don't even got to play the first month. He don't even got to play the first 2 months. He's telling everybody how good the roster is. He's like, this guy's 27. This guy's 27. AD's now going to get inked up. I mean, I can't stand it. They're going to win the next 2 years. Or they're at least in it. Everybody in the West should just stay home. Everybody in the West should just stay home because they're going to be in the finals next 2 years. You can book it. And his last year of his deal, you better believe he's in the finals. So if they don't go to the finals this year, you can book they're going to the finals last year.
And he's inked up. He's inked up for 2 more years too.
Yep.
When's he inked up for?
Until
How many total
2023.
years?
23, which is Bronny's senior year of high school. Which if you know,
He'll
if the
get
rule changes,
another
he
deal.
gets to go.
The draft
Or
happens.
he'll go to that team that drafts Bronny.
He's gonna go back to friggin' Cleveland to play with his son. He's
I'm
be
gonna
on the
murder him.
Cavaliers.
Yeah,
I'm gonna murder him.
Cleveland's going to be so bad.
You watch, fam. When that happens in a couple years, come back to this stream and give it a like. That's all we ask.
Matt says, F the numbers. Harris just has to be better and play smarter. Yeah, and he has to show up in the playoffs, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, you got to show up in the playoffs. You can average 25 all you want, 20 a game in the regular season, but when the playoffs come and guys get palmsy, you gotta be the aggressor, and he hasn't shown to be that. He's actually done the opposite and absolutely flat out disappeared. So that can't happen again.
Going back to the last comment with the MVP for Ben. I don't think he's gonna be MVP. I think he will lead the league in assists though.
Well, I'll ask you guys this.
MVP, I'm not calling anybody an MVP in this city anymore.
No.
I mean, I hope Carson was going to come out and have an MVP season. We see how that aged, so I'm going to shy away.
I think Ben does lead the league in assists this year, though.
What was the best version of Ben Simmons we ever saw?
With Bellinelli and Ilyasova, probably. Or no, I mean,
Was that the year you guys went 18-0 at the end of the year?
Yes.
Was that with Ben?
Yes.
I think the best we've seen of Ben Simmons was early on last year, because I think he got better in so many facets of his game. Like he was a better defender, you know. Or you say that final little run versus Toronto. You know what I mean? Like I thought he played I thought he really started to grow as a basketball player, defensively, etc. So I don't know. I don't think you have to go back that far to find his best basketball.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because he's gotten better every year. And it's shown at times, right, where they've gone on little runs or played really well, right? So
I would just say that, and we don't know if he's ever going to be this because we've talked about it for so much, but the killer type player that we need, just the aggressive, nonstop Ben Simmons, that's why I go back to that season when he had Bellinelli and Ilyasova and Redick. And I'm not saying it, I'm not putting all pressure off of him because he can do whatever he wants on the court. It's up to his effort. But I think it even makes it easier for him to do that when he has shooters around him, because the roster's very similar in a way as far as style to what that roster was, because it gives him, the outlets, either crash the lane and go right after the basket or kick it out to a wide open shooter. You know what I'm saying? To where he has options now. We don't have to worry about spacing. So I agree with you, Ralphie. I'm going to take a little break from saying MVP anything or awards anything.
At least in the city, yeah.
Because I said last year I thought Ben Simmons was going to shoot, and I thought he was going to be like second in MVP voting, and we know how that panned out. We saw like 2 threes, which I guess was 2 more threes than we saw, period, but you know my point. But I think given this, I believe we're going to see the aggressive Ben Simmons again. And I think that's what Doc Rivers is getting at with his comments. Like everyone's saying, oh, well, he doesn't want him to shoot. Because Ben Simmons doesn't need to be a 3-point shooter. If he is, then it's over. But the Ben Simmons that's dominant is aggressive. It's Ben Simmons who's dominant and who improves at the line. If Ben Simmons improves at the line and is aggressive nonstop, I'll take that for right now.
He's gotten better at both of them things every year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Gotten more aggressive, and he doesn't need to be our closer. Like, that's Joel Embiid's job here. You know what I mean? I'm going to yell from the rafters. The closer of this basketball team is Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Right? The Lakers.
I agree.
Who was the Lakers closer? AD. Think about this. Think about it. It wasn't LeBron. It was AD. LeBron became a distributor and scored. You know what I mean? But, like, you can win with your big man leading the way. You can. He can be your closer. Like, it's good at 2020. Doesn't mean you need every guard to be your closer. You know what I mean? You can win with your big man who's athletic enough to create his own shot, etc., to be your closer. You just are. So, Ben just needs to continue to develop like he has. And yes, to Rye's point and everybody else's, you've now put him in his best situation to thrive. And that's all you can do with players is put them in positions to get better. And I think the Sixers have done a great job of putting Ben and Joe in positions to get better.
Let's see here. Dion says Joel is our assassin if they. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what he said. If AD is that for the Lakers, why can't Embiid be that? Derek says, I think Joe wins MVP before Ben.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that would be more logical because you're probably going to play the style of play that makes that happen. You know what I mean? You're never going to be running an offense that's centered around Ben Simmons, as talented as he is.
Yeah.
You know, your offense is always going to be start around Joe, and he makes everything else go.
Don says if the Bucks don't make the finals, where do you see Giannis playing? Dallas.
Yeah, I don't even know yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got nothing.
Yeah, like I don't even know that one yet on where. Could be. I mean, big market. So, I mean, that's all I'll say. He's going big market. But
how could I saw you wave and smirk up there? How could that even work?
I know.
Only in the rigged NBA could that work. Could the Lakers come up with that type
NBA
of money?
2K again. This isn't fantasy land.
I'm still wondering how they're signing guys now. I'm like,
that's what the funny thing this whole offseason, right? Every time the Lakers made a free agency move, I would always get a voice message from Ryan, like, how are you guys? Where is this?
How do you have money? How do you have friggin' money? Who's sending you the money?
Danny Green's only making $15 million. You got that's all you think you got rid of.
Yeah, I just think, guys, real quick, I just think Joe. Lord, I know you don't think Joe can be a closer, but I mean, a lot of the stupid stuff was a scheme of the offense too, which I think you're going to have a different scheme and a different style of play here. So I think that helps him, be on the block more late in games because you can stretch the floor with other guys. You know what I mean? So little things like that. If he does get doubled, right? There's guys out there that can hit shots. So I just think you just made everything better around him. And he's getting into the age where you can start to have the conversation like he should be a top 5 MVP candidate. You know what I mean? You're getting to that age where he should be that, right, guys? I mean, I just feel like you're coming up on that time.
Joel.
Yeah, where I need you to be.
Yeah.
Ben's still 2 years away from having to be
at least be a candidate for it, a top 5 candidate for the award, or like at least a top 3, top 4 person to have your name inside your name in the hat for the MVP voting.
Well, you're right. Where are we at? Marquis says he got more aggressive. He showed in Game 6 2019 playoffs that he has what it takes to beat small defenders against the Raptors. Yeah, I mean, I think he's gotten better. I think he's gotten better every year, right? Like, I don't think there's been any regression in Ben Simmons' game. So I haven't seen regression. I've seen little things that he's developed and gotten better with, and I'm gonna run with that until proven otherwise. Sorry, and then with a new coaching staff and more accountability and more, I think, player development with guys and getting the best out of guys, I think that's going to help all these guys. But it's all speculation until they're on the court, right? Yeah, I'll take sounding like Doc Rivers. Sure, I'll take his money too. If he gets surrounded, he's looking for Curry as of right now. Probably mad. He's looking for Curry. He's looking for Danny Green. He's looking for shooters. And they got Wes Matthews too, the Lakers.
Yeah.
Another scorer.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great.
Yeah, of course you do.
Of course it is. Crumb.
Don't be rude.
Well, let's do our confidence and excitement level in the Sixers. So 1 out of 10, you got to give me your confidence level, and 1 out of 10, you got to give me your excitement level.
Gotcha.
So, Ralphie, I know you're not going to have the excitement level. So give us more of your, I guess, your air quote confidence, but give me both. Just give me your excitement level for the NBA coming back, period.
A 10, because now we can talk about basketball. The shit Eagles. So it's a full-on 10 for me that basketball's back. I'm excited for it to get started back up.
Confidence level?
For what? For the Sixers or for?
Well, you can give us both, Ralph, even though I know what you're going to say with the Lakers. You're going to say like 15.
Okay. All right. Hypothetical, if I was a Sixers fan, I would be in it as an 8 right now. 8. Hyper. Enthusiastic. Let's go, Sixers. I'm excited. Let's go. I'm in an 8. 8 out of 10.
Okay.
What are you for the
Lakers?
Oh, that's like a 12, 15 range, but I'll go 10. I love it.
My confidence level in the team, I'm going to give it a solid 7.75.
Jesus Christ.
For my excitement level, it's a 10 because, hey, the team's a lot better. I'm excited for some Sixers basketball. I mean, something to root for in this city after what we're witnessing on the field and the current offseason of the team in the red pinstripes and, of course, the Flyers. And I mean, I'm excited for the Flyers, but I mean, that playoff loss hurts. So I'm pretty excited for this season.
Greg?
My confidence level is at a 7 right now. And I just see the holes at that 3-4 depth wise right now as the potential, hang-ups. And plus, I'm scorned, right? You know what I mean? Like I'm that scorned, ex-girlfriend of what we've witnessed in the past, right? However, my excitement level, and this is strictly Sixers, because I watch very little NBA outside of the Sixers, because I think the product is terrible. But my excitement level for the Sixers is a 9.5, because we do have something new, and we do have new people in charge, and hopefully we see an elevation of Ben Simmons, because I think that's the biggest key for me going forward.
Confidence level, I'm going to go 7.1. That way I can say I'm more confident than Greg. Excitement level, I'm gonna go 10 as well, just because aside from just something else besides the Eagles, I'm I'm excited to finally see what these players, especially the two stars, look like without, I don't want to call it the excuse, but of like the shadow of Brett Brown. You know what I'm saying? To where we would always criticize Ben and Joel, but we'd always have the thing at our back of our mind saying, well, is it Brett or is it them? And knowing how, and a lot of times, bad Brett Brown was at situational basketball or putting players in position to succeed, there was really no way of truly knowing how good these guys could be or whose fault it was for their deficiencies until we finally got a brand new thought process and a brand new coaching staff like we have now. Like Tom says numerous times, I think this coaching staff, just on paper from top to bottom, and you can look organizationally, I think it can rival almost everybody in the NBA. So on paper, we can't use that excuse right now and say, oh, well, the coaching staff isn't good, because we've all been saying we like it or love it. So I think we're finally going to see whose fault was it truly on as far as player development or not getting the best out of certain guys. And I think we're finally going to see where our true value lies, to be honest. And also, I'm excited for it because I think there is a lot of moving parts the last two seasons, but especially this season. I think the East is way better. And I know when we dive into the West a little bit, in a little while, we thought it was difficult. I've got some great teams that I think have a really good shot at doing some damage that I don't even have as playoff teams in the West, just because, it's the friggin' West. There's going to be some teams where if they're in the East, they would be locks. But in the West, it's like, okay, well, there's just only 8 teams. You know what I mean? So, no, but I'm extremely excited to see something different.
Greg, Don has a question for you.
Confidence level for the Magic is a solid 10.
Was that higher? Was that higher for the Sixers?
It was higher than the Sixers, yeah.
By a full 3 points.
I'm kidding, of course. I don't.
Yeah, you said it on tape.
My confidence level would be. Well, we don't have James Harden, so we don't have to worry about this.
Well, hey, they just made a big trade, so it could happen.
Yeah.
That could be the Danny Green move, Greg. He could be moved.
Philly 0024. I'd say at a 7. I think we're probably a 5th or 6th seed, with ETH getting much better. Yeah, I don't think we're dropping like that though. I just don't think we are. I think we're getting better. Derek King, you all do a great job reading comments and involving the live chat. Great job. Thanks, brother. Gavin, what's up, my man?
Hey, Gavin.
Thanks, Derek. We try.
What up, Gavin?
So where were we at? Okay.
You're up.
You, brother.
Excitement's 2 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so done. I'm so cleansed by this new organization. It's fresh to me. It's exciting. I want to see. It's a newer roster, different pieces. I'm excited. Second thing being confidence level. I'm way higher than all you guys. I think we're really down on just a team that got banged up at the end of last year, and we're really just thinking too much of the bubble, and we're forgetting sort of how they did get better when they in 2019. You know what I mean? And his injury sort of just took him out of last year a little bit. Okay, I think we're down on that a little bit, but that's understandable. I get it. My confidence level is 9 in this basketball team. They added the pieces they needed to add to space the floor. I'm confident in my 2 studs. I'm confident. I really like the pick they made this year in the first round of Maxey. I like the pieces of Green, Howard, Seth. Right? I mean, you went out and got veterans. Right? They did everything I wanted them to do. Right? Everything I wanted them to do, and they cleaned house, and they're on the same page. Right? All of them things factor into a 9-piece. Let's go.
And another thing too, and I'll piggyback off of you, Tommy, too. They went out and got the guys that been in
Be careful. His back's hurting him. Be careful on the piggyback. His back's a little sore.
Fuck
I wish I had cymbals and a drum, Greg.
No, but to Tommy's point, yeah, they did go out and get veterans and guys that been in big moments and playoff games and obviously NBA Finals.
Yeah, well, Dion makes real quick. Dion makes a good point. When you talk about ages, when they won their first ring, MJ 28, LeBron 27, Paul Pierce 29, Steph 27, KD 29, Joel is 26. Is it that time yet or not? It's close, right? It's close, but usually guys don't win with their first coach, right? Now that second coach is in, right?
Yeah.
Now the second coach is in.
Right.
And that's usually the guy you take your next step with. So we're going to find out. Great show, guys. Dude on the bottom right, doppelganger from Johnny from Invincible. Johnny.
Frank? Is that Frank or me?
Frank.
Bottom right.
Thank Frank.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we go. You do the left. Okay.
It's all right, Greg. Yep.
All right, buddy.
I went to Triton. Sorry.
I can see it. Yeah, sort of. I mean that's a very interesting comparison. This is a picture of him apparently, David Dog.
Yep. I see it.
Yep.
Hey, I mean that's some of the better doppelgangers I've received.
Well, they're not calling you Borat tonight.
Well, they're not calling me Borat. I'm not being called Ron Jeremy or Super Mario. Or I forgot who else. I don't know who said it earlier in the chat, but somebody said I had like the Aaron Rodgers look. Oh, it was Don saying I got like an Aaron Rodgers look.
Now that you said that, wait about 30 seconds, and I guarantee you there's going to be a Borat comment.
I know. And then here comes all the comments saying, "Oh, the guy on the bottom right looks like Borat." Yep, and here comes the laughing.
There already was.
Yep.
I said it an hour and 5 minutes ago. Attack. Grow up. I already said. So,
what up, Todd?
What up, Todd? You don't gotta go looking for it, boys. Somebody already mentioned it. Didn't even take 5 minutes into the show.
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
very nice.
We will.
You guys are too much on the same page tonight.
Oh man!
You guys said that in sync. That was like in sync right there. You know?
Jinx.
And Danny Green comment. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right, 3 NBA teams that got better.
Oh no, I get the other Super Mario brother. Thanks, Don.
3 NBA teams that got better. 3 NBA teams that got worse.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
You're talking, Ralphie. You're the one.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right. My first team that got better in the NBA is the Phoenix Suns. Is my number one team. Devin Booker finally has a point guard. Finally, after how many years he's been in the league? 5 years so far. They actually, nice. There we go. 5 years in the league, and he finally gets a decent point guard. Hall of Famer and All-Star, Chris Paul. My second team that got better this offseason is the Atlanta Hawks. I think they got a lot better. I think they're going to, compete for a playoff spot, actually make noise finally. It seems like they sucked for about, 10 years now. Except for that year, what do they have like that 51 year, right? And then they got beat in the playoffs in the second round with Kyle Korver and them. Oh, Al Horford was actually on that team. They won 50 games and they lost.
Who?
And my third team that got better in the offseason.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
What?
I had the same list.
Wow. Great minds think alike, Frank.
I know.
Great minds think alike.
Hey.
Wait, who's
I'm
your
gonna go the LA Lakers, baby.
They already won the title. What are you talking about?
You got better in the offseason. You got rid of Dwight, got Harrell. You got rid of Rondo. You got Schroeder. You got rid of Danny Green.
Wes
Matthews. Cheaper.
Just can't believe that's your three. I just can't believe that's. I can't.
Ryan, you can go next, buddy.
Well, I'm going to go with a team that actually did. I mean, I'm not saying the Lakers didn't get better, but astronomically better. How can you leave off the Golden State Warriors, Ralphie?
Yeah, but did they get better though?
Are you friggin' high?
They just lost Clay for another year.
They didn't have Clay last year, Ralph.
Yeah, but they don't have Clay again this year. So how did they get better?
Didn't have James Wiseman, Kelly Oubre, Steph Curry coming back. Let's see, Anthony. You got Wiggins. Do I have to
That's going to put them over the hump?
That's a playoff team. Yes. You don't think the Warriors are a playoff team? You don't think the Warriors?
No. I think they are, but I don't think it makes them. Hold
on. There's two things you can't do. You can't hit Ralphie with the Lakers not getting better when they got younger and they already won a chip, and they probably replaced pieces with even better pieces for the most part. And then the Warriors, who you should hold to the standard of championship or finals or bust at this point of some of their careers, right? Of Green's, of Curry's, maybe not Clay's because he's younger, but now, you know what I mean? Now, you look at them as the standard to compete and come out of the West, right? So I always got to look at them as like, I can't, because they didn't make the playoffs last year, they tanked. So of course they're going to be better because Steph's on the court, but they're not better than they were championship run. And that wasn't even that long ago.
Well,
So
we're comparing them last year, though, aren't we? Are we comparing them to last year?
That's a shitty. I'm being honest. That's a shit. That's like a cop out team. That like, of course they got better. They said everybody last year, right? They said everybody. That's like an asterisk.
Everybody. I mean, they got hurt. They were hurt. They didn't sit everybody.
But I just don't know how they got.
And they didn't, which is fine. They should have. You know what I mean? They weren't trying to win games because they weren't good enough. But it's like an asterisk next to them saying that they got better because of course they got better because as soon as Steph steps back on the court, you know what I mean? They're already better. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
I mean, getting Wiseman makes them better instead of Kevon Looney. You know what I'm saying? Oubre's better. Wiggins for a full year's better. It's not just about Curry.
Well,
They had like three NBA players on their roster last year.
yeah,
And it wasn't because they didn't sit their players, they were all hurt.
I know. So it's like an asterisk next to them because their standards higher. Their standards are championships at this point of these guys' careers. Their standards aren't like being a playoff team. Their standards are winning chips. Their players are getting up to that age where if they're not winning chips now, they're not going to win them anymore. Losing Klay Thompson, it just automatically screw. I would say, yeah, they got better, you know, because Klay's there and they got Wiseman and they got Oubre. But losing Klay's a killer. So, like, I don't know if they compete for the West. Like, I don't know if they can compete with the Lakers. I don't know. I mean, but at the end of the day, like, they weren't good because they were hurt. They weren't not good because they all played and they weren't good. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Like, it's almost like an asterisk pick. It's fine. Just good conversation. But
well, I just go after Ralphie because it's like I understand they got better, but they were already the peak. You know what I'm saying? Like they were already at the
Yeah, but we replaced Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee for Montrezl Harrell, who's a lot younger.
they
I
got
understand that.
You took Rondo, you let Rondo walk, and you brought in Dennis Schroeder. You took Danny Green's $15 million contract, you shipped him out, and you got Wesley Matthews for 1 year. What was it? 1 year, I think $1.1 million. And he does the same thing, and he's a better shooter. And his percentage is better than Danny Green.
no.
So how did we not get better, Ryan?
Ralphie, I'm going to say it slowly for the third time. I'm not saying you guys didn't get better. I'm saying that if you look at who got better, I would think there's a lot of other teams that the needle got moved more.
Marcus Gasol too. We got Marcus Gasol. We got Marcus Gasol too.
I think the Lakers improved immensely.
Yeah.
I think they improved immensely.
Yeah, their improvements getting back to the finals. You have them as a team that's going to go back again. You know what I mean? So they definitely improved because it's hard to go back again. So they figured out a way to bring it to get younger and get better at the same time. It's almost amazing. I hate it. I despise it. I would like to not disagree with Ralphie. I want no parts of it. But they absolutely got better. I mean, their roster is astronomically better than last year and got younger. It's actually like they actually did a hell of a job. I'm disgusted by it. Really, yeah.
Yeah, Gavin, that does stink for Klay, man. I was excited for him to come back.
Now, if Klay was back, then they're competing right with the Lakers. Right now, I don't think they can compete with the Lakers. I don't think they have the bench to do it. I don't think they have the starting five to do it. I mean, they would have to Steph would have to go off for like 45, 50 a game for them to play with them right now. But yeah. So what were your other ones?
I got Warriors. I have the Hawks, and I had the Suns.
Nice. So me and you you just swapped the Lakers out with
Lakers for the Warriors. That's all. I've got the same. I got the same other two.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I'm not saying these teams aren't gonna be the best, but I'm just picking different ones because I also think that they improved. Because all the ones I mentioned before, the Lakers are the best team in the NBA, and it's sickening how they were able to do everything because it just doesn't make sense. But I completely agree with the Phoenix Suns. I'm getting a leader in Chris Paul and another year under the Ayton's, to go with Devin Booker, I think is huge. and giving him someone to giving Booker someone to run with in Chris Paul.
Yeah.
I really like what the Charlotte Hornets did too. I don't know if it's going to put them over the top and get them into the playoffs, but you obviously added, a potential, best playmaker in the draft potentially in LaMelo. You added Gordon Hayward for his 10 minutes that he's going to be on the floor. But I really like that guard they picked up in the second round from College of Charleston. He's a scorer off the bench. I really like what Michael finally did as GM. Maybe he took some stock in himself as he was watching his own documentary all quarantine. And then the third team I think got better is Milwaukee Bucks. I think adding Drew Holiday to that point guard position and giving another legitimate scorer next to Giannis is a really big piece for them. I really Drew might not be the greatest guy, and people might have different opinions on Drew, but I think it might be exactly what Giannis needs.
That's a good list. Frank?
My list is the same as this guy over here, surprisingly.
Nice.
This was not planned one bit.
My list is I'll go a little different than everybody else said. I will go Washington Wizards got better. Today they went from
breaking news, waiver wire deal.
Happened today. I mean, you're talking about a team that you're talking about maybe the worst team in the Eastern Conference, and they just like propelled themselves to probably maybe an 8 seed in a playoff team that quickly. So now I'm just trying to name some different teams in the obvious.
And real quick, Tommy, it's just so funny what and it says not even about Russ versus John Wall, but just the ability to have him on the floor. Because even John Wall, and I think a lot of people will agree, Russ is better than John Wall. But even when John Wall was on the floor with Washington, they weren't very good.
No, not at all.
But Russ being on the floor, especially now as Bradley Beal has entered into his superstar years, I think is going to be huge for them.
Absolutely. My other team, I said Washington. I mean, Suns obviously got better. That's a great name. I don't want to say Milwaukee because you already said it. I had another team too. I think it was.
Was it Portland?
No. Maybe I don't think it was the Suns either. I had another team, and now I just drew a blank because we started talking about. We got deeper into that.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, Washington's definitely a team got better. My other team I was going to say is the Sixers. I mean, a team that needed veterans, was missing shooters, was missing all them things, and they went out and got 4 players that make them better. I mean, say whatever they want. I mean, so the Sixers got better coming into this season. They're tougher. And, the Lakers got better. I mean, obviously, I know how do you say you get better after you win a championship, but you do. And I think the Pelicans got better, too. I agree with that. Thanks, Gabriel. That was a team I was looking for. I was drawing a blank on, but those Pelicans. I mean, how did they not get better? They got better. They obviously inked up Ingram, Zion another year. So, that helps their process. I think they're better. I think they're tough. And we'll see how that goes out in the West. But not really, not too many movers and shakers that got that much better, right? But I think everybody got a little better. I mean, I think we named a good group of teams. We all went a little different for the most part, besides Ralph and Frank. We all went a little different at different teams that got better in different ways. And you can say the Sixers not only got better on the floor, they got better organizationally and got better coaching. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think overall, I think the Sixers take the crown for that as a whole. Whole organization getting better. I think the Sixers take the cake.
Yeah, when I did the list, I factored the Sixers out of it because I know they improved. I'm just going with teams outside of the Sixers that improved.
No, that's fine. And being known you guys took them, I'll take them. Yeah, I was trying to go 3 teams nobody was taking, but Washington. I mean, Washington made maybe the biggest jump out of anybody.
Yeah, definitely.
from what they would be to what they can be, right? And like you can make an argument that their max ceiling, if both of them have really good years together, would be like maybe 7, right? Maybe 7 seed is like their max ceiling. You know, so I mean that's a really good max ceiling going from 12 or 11 or whatever the hell you be at. I mean that's a big jump. So you got to look at like who takes the biggest jump. Well, can the Sixers jump from a 5 to a 2? That's a big jump, right? Can the Lakers withstand it, the West, and stay at 1 seed and be the best in the? You know what I mean? Like that takes getting better in the all season. You know, obviously, like I always say, like the Warriors, right to your point. I mean, they're obviously good. They're obviously going to be competitive as shit. They're just an asterisk to me because everybody was hurt last year. We expect them to be good. They better be good. That's all. They better be good. Or there's a problem. Steve Kerr maybe isn't a genius anymore. But Clay's going to fucking kill him. Clay's going to kill him. It's such a. I feel so bad for the kid, man. He's such a good kid and such a good basketball player, and just plays the game the right way, right? And that's what I really appreciate about him. He plays both ends of the court well, and it sucks for Warriors fans to be without him again, and then you start wondering what's up with the rest of his career, you know.
Did you see the Prism trade scenario? He says seeing a trade proposal of Harden for Wiggins, Looney, Pascal, and Wiseman. You afraid of that, Ralphie?
It can't happen.
Why?
It didn't sound right. It seemed like a lot of bodies.
Well, just Wiseman. You can't trade Wiseman right now.
Yeah.
Cannot be traded because 30 days have not yet passed since he was signed as a rookie. So because he inked his contract, he can't be signed.
Well, okay. What about 31? What about in 31 days? Can that happen?
No, it can definitely happen the day after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ralphie, would you be afraid of that?
There's also a horror.
You're muted.
Harden goes to the Warriors,
Jesus.
but they're losing Wiggins, Looney, Wiseman, big old Eric down low.
So you're losing depth. I mean, you're a top-heavy team.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could shoot the lights out of the building.
On the trade machine, it says it's not possible. It said this would result in the Rockets crossing the tax apron while handicapped or while hard capped. Sorry. Therefore, this trade is not possible. And it says the reason is they acquired Christian Wood from the Pistons via sign and trade.
That's the next one, Derek King. We got it. You know.
Yeah. We'll get into that right now.
Our 3 teams.
But that's an interesting deal.
No, and I'm going to make it, you know, listen, Oubre helps them, obviously. But, you know, figuring out how they make up for Clay, I think is going to be their biggest thing. Richard Shelley says, can the Sixers get 48-52 wins this season without any COVID problems? I don't even know about COVID problems, but 72 gamers. So you got to factor that into your win-loss record.
Yeah, your 52 wins is now your essentially your 62 wins. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's it's a 62 and 20 essential season.
Yeah,
so that's tough.
So what's your and we can talk about this going further, you know, for weeks on end until the season, but like what do you think is a reasonable target then as far as wins? Like if you had to set like an over-under, I don't know if Vegas did that yet. I'm sure they did because it's Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, find the over-under for me, and I'll be able to give you a better feel on where they're going to be. Deion Booker, the Golden State Warriors with Clay win 65% of their games. Without him, only 40%. That's a crazy stat. You know what I mean? That just shows the freaking importance, man. Because I wanted them to compete in the West with the Lakers. I wanted to make somebody give them a run for their money over there. You know what I mean? And they really could have did it too. I'm not saying they can't now because they'll be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think Golden State still makes the playoffs, but
no, I've got them as a 4 seed, 5 seed.
Yeah, they still make the playoffs. No question about it. Don, they haven't reported any of that stuff yet. I don't think they know how they're going about that situation. But if you just follow the NFL's talking bubble for playoffs. I mean, what does that lead to basketball? Does basketball have to do something similar in a way again. I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're just happy right now that we're actually getting there, right? So it's fun. Richard Shawley says 44. Is that right?
I was going to say 43. Yeah,
44 and a half. Yeah, 44 and a half.
Yeah.
The Bucks are the leaders at 50 and a half.
It's probably.
I'm gonna go 46 for the Sixers.
Over then, huh, Ralphie?
Yeah.
Bucks, Lakers, Celtics, Clippers, Nets, Nuggets, Heat, Sixers.
So what number is that?
8 overall.
And what about in the East? 4?
Yeah. 8th overall, 5th in the East.
Behind the Nets, Miami, Celtics, and Bucks.
Bucks, Celtics, Nets, Heat.
I just think the Sixers are a top 3 team in the East. That's
give me 45. Give me 45.
Yeah, I'm going over.
They're gonna make
take
moves. This roster isn't current. It's not going to stay this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're going to ship out one of the big guys, but if there's a necessary need, Morey's going to go get it. So I'm going over.
Oh yeah, I mean, this roster alone, I'm going over. So I'm over. I'll say 48.
Don's going 51. Sirac's going 51. Nasty's going 45.
These aren't crazy numbers, guys. With Ben Simmons beat on the court, they're good. So it's not like you're not getting. It's not like a false narrative getting tossed out of here. If they win 56, I'll freaking run down Broad Street naked. All right, right here on A2D. I literally strip down naked. Wow, that's a wild that's a wild little CDC fact from Dion. Dennis Thomas says 52 and 30.
I did see it. 79% of us had it already. Is that what that said?
Experts say 79% has had.
I guess of all the COVID cases,
or had it, or was asymptomatic. So either had it or was asymptomatic. So it doesn't mean they definitely. I guess that means they definitely had
That would be
it.
about right for this time of the year.
70. Kidding me?
Copacabana. What are you sipping down there in that cabana?
52 and 22. I mean, that'd be fun. You know what I mean? 72 game season though. For everybody out there chiming in. So 47. 47 is a good number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking around the 47, 48 range.
Oh, get your pom-poms ready. Might start running. Dion says Sixers' weakness is not enough time to prepare. How do you combat that? Well, you combat
coaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's how a great coach.
Coaching and talent's gotta help, right? I mean, talent's gotta help through that process of some newness.
And the other side of it is your roster right now is veteran heavy, and you don't have to rely too much on too many young guys to at least contribute right away. You can allow them to use the beginning first month of the season or so to get their legs and get acclimated to the NBA so that come crunch time, then they're actual legit NBA players.
No, absolutely. Marquis says they had road issues last year. I see the road issues being fixed with Doc. So I see 56 and 16. Jeez.
Wow.
I'm at home. I would love.
I ain't hating it.
No, I mean, not hating it at all. I mean, I'd love to have you. But I do see road issues fixed or better or cleaned up, right? I think when you add veterans, you should get better on the road. When you add a good coaching staff, you should get better on the road. I know this basketball team is going to try to obviously get it done on the defense side of the court as well. So, with all them things being said, I think they do get better on the road, and as they should.
You guys, in a second, you want to do teams that got worse?
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Gabriel, do you think Toronto stays elite?
Nope.
Elite, no, but do I think they stay 5 seed? Yeah.
I think they contend, but they're not the same team they were a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, I think they stay relevant in the East.
Yeah, they're still there. They're still talking. We still got to beat them. So until we beat them.
Thank God we don't have to go up to Toronto, though. Thank God we don't have to go up there.
Where are they playing this year?
Tampa,
right?
Tampa Bay Raptors.
The Tampa Bay Raptors, yep.
My God. Richard Doc knows how to win big games. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's lost big ones too, but he's been to more big games than Brett. And Copa, we got snubbed on Christmas. It's horse shit. We're on Christmas 3 years in a row, and we upgrade so much, and they take us away.
Yeah, that I don't know why you guys are not on Christmas. Makes no sense.
Underdog mentality, Ralphie. Underdog mentality.
I actually like it. People don't, Vegas has this a little lower. I like it. Last year we started hot and we didn't play well after that. So I'm hoping that sort of everything against us, backs against the wall a little bit, and we play over expectations a little bit. Luka is the best player in the NBA. I mean, no. Nobody but LeBron's the best player in the NBA until somebody else wins it. I mean, there's a lot of great players and a lot of good players in the NBA. It's, I'm not talking. I'm just talking about until he's done playing at a high level. I don't know how you take anybody else right now. And I'm an MJ guy, and I'm just being honest with you. Like, I'm just being completely honest. Like until the guy hangs up and stops winning, he's the best player in the league. Like the day he says, "Yeah, that's it," you know what I mean? And then we'll start talking about the other guys. Then the other guys are in conversation, or somebody goes and beats them. That's how you get in that conversation. That's why Steph was in that conversation, right? When you beat him, you get put in that conversation. So until, listen, Giannis is a pimp. Luke is a pimp, right? I mean, I can go on. Durant's a pimp. There's a lot of pimps around the league, right? But the best player in the league is the guy cutting the nets down.
It's true. As much as I hate it. Yep.
I hate it too. Until somebody beats him right now, and not the teams haven't, but right now he's the last guy standing, and that's that. So until somebody beats him this year, or his game gets that bad, where it's like, all right, he's just not. It's just obvious, right? But the way he's going, I don't see him slowing down much. So we'll see.
Vitaly, I would say right now it's Joel, but eventually it'll be Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Joel for that question.
I'm gonna go Joel, but to me, they can both be the same in different ways. Like it doesn't have to be who's better. They can both be like, damn, they're both really good. And that's sort of what I'm hoping for. That I'm like, I can't tell, right? You know what I mean? Like it's like, man, they're just both great. You know what I mean? And that's sort of what we're hoping for here.
Yeah, Malachi. If he gets a shot, do I think he's going to be an MVP candidate? I think he's going to be best player in the world. Yeah, best player in the world candidate.
He'll be unstoppable. If Ben Simmons can get a jump shot, can shoot the 15 jumper, jumper, he's right there.
We'll be saying Giannis who, honestly. And that's no disrespect to Giannis right now. Giannis is a way better player now. But if Ben does that, we will be saying Giannis who.
And his shot's cleaner than Giannis too. So I mean,
already, and the guy doesn't even want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
So let's circle the teams that got worse. I got to pick. You guys started off. Teams that got worse. Family out there join us. Chime in if you're new here and it's the first time stopping in A2D. Do us all a favor, wherever platform you're on. Like, subscribe, follow. We're on every platform there is: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. Everywhere you get your downloads. I mean, everywhere you get your podcasts. I just froze because of Greg coming in. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. So like over there, download, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll continue to read off everything you guys got comment-wise, and we'll continue to run through. We got a lot more. We got a lot on the docket still. After this, we're going to build our own team in Philly sports with different players. So that'll be fun. We'll have our Eagles rant session. Which will be quick, and then we'll give a quick score prediction to the blowout that's coming. And then I got a crumb in a day, and it's going to be hot, and I'm trying to save my energy for it. That's what we got left on the docket, fam. So chime in. We want to know who got worse. Who got worse? 3 teams. And
go ahead, Ralphie.
My 3 teams? All right. I'm going to start with the number 1 team that I think got worse in the offseason as general. I'm going to go Detroit Pistons. Jesus. I mean, you want to talk about a team that, said, all right, who's the best? Well, how many centers can we get on one team? We'll take Jalil. We'll take Plumlee. We'll take you.
How can we get taller?
How can we get taller? But the funny thing is too is that you got Miles Plumlee and you got Jahlil Okafor, but you let your one diamond go out the door, a guy that actually produced for your basketball team all year long, and that was Christian Wood. I mean, the guy, how Detroit did not re-sign him or even come up with some of the money to keep him in Detroit and let him walk to Houston is insane. The second team, I updated mine. My second team is going to be the Houston Rockets.
Are you kidding me? All right.
And for
Just so we can get this out of the way, is your third team the Oklahoma City Thunder?
No.
Well, mine is the Oklahoma City Thunder. So
There you go.
I got 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Meatloaf said it right.
Ralphie, I hate to do the whole thing again with you where I'm coming after you. How can you not have the Thunder on this list?
Well, they're rebuilding.
Therefore, they are.
Therefore, they're terrible.
They literally let go of all their.
They're bad. They're going to rebuild
Ralph,
around
They've been
SBA.
doing that for
Ralph.
about dude. You have almost 18 first rounders.
Are they playing this year for you? Are they playing?
Dude, they might have like 20. They might have like 20 wins.
Okay.
And that might be generous.
I was gonna say, Ralphie, were you saying that about the process Sixers? Like, were you saying, oh, but they've got a lot of picks? No, we were saying they were garbage, Ralphie.
Yeah, but you're rebuilding now. Like who would have
they
thought?
stink. They're not rebuilding. They're tanking. They're
Listen
tanking.
now. Listen. Listen, okay, OKC last year. Who would have thought that Chris Paul would have taken that group and made them into a 5th seed last year?
Do they have Chris Paul still?
No, but they got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's actually a good player.
Okay, keep going. Let's see what else we have on there.
And then,
Let's keep going.
Andre Roberson. I don't know if he's still there.
Wow. Let's keep going. Let's hear it. Keep going.
I know they're a bad team, but I don't, as a whole, I don't think they gotten worse.
Ralph, they went from being a bona fide playoff team to literally the worst team in the West.
Well, I excluded them because we already know what they're doing now.
Were they playing this year? Are they playing this year?
Yeah,
so you can't exclude
They have
them.
my favorite point guard, Chris Paul.
Well, my third team was the Hornets. I think they are terrible and still terrible. Listen.
Greg said they got better.
You think they got better?
Did you not list it in my list?
Clearly not.
Clearly not. You must have been muted.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, probably.
He was probably talking to his pals in over on the what do you call it? Over on his Xbox pals.
Oh, drummer boy, thanks for chiming in, man. Australia.
MJ said, Nicholas Batum's contract's really bad. Let's see how we can get out of this. And he got out of it. and then he went over to Gordon Hayward and said, "Hey, Gordon, what do you want? Here's $105 million or however much money he got over the $100 million. That's a bad contract too.
You know what they at least did, though?
Charlotte.
You know what they at least did, Ralphie?
What do they do?
As opposed to the Oklahoma City Thunder, they at least added players to their roster. Oklahoma said,
are they going to make the playoffs?
I don't have them in my better teams. You got to talk to Greg. I think they're staying the same.
Are they going to make the playoffs, Greg?
I think they now have at least a shot in the East to grab an East seed.
For me, the Hornets did get better, but they're not there yet. So they got better, but not
like a 9th seed.
They're a fringe playoff team, in my opinion.
They're like
they are terrible. Year. I just think they got better. When you add legit NBA players to a roster, you're gonna get better.
See, Ralphie, I just think he likes the ball brother.
Again. They handed out bad contracts again this offseason.
Yeah, they have two. They do have two bad contracts, but they're on the contract with Nick
Batum. On the court this year for Boston.
Did you hear what Frank said?
4-year deal.
Did you hear what Frank said?
What Frank say?
Frank?
Love it, Malachi.
Yes, they have the bad contracts. Yes, the Gordon Hayward contract is not the greatest of contracts, but they're going to use that contract to unload Nick Batum once they find a third team.
No, they just cut him.
It's already done.
Oh, they just cut him?
He signed with the Clippers.
But that's what I'm saying. You went from one, but Frank, you got to remember, they went from one bad contract to another bad contract. How does that make you better than last year?
Derek's coming after you. Derek's coming after you.
Derek, that's okay. That's
Come
right.
on, Ralph.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
okay to make a move, T.
And
Yeah, I know.
Gabriel was also read Gabriel. Read
They're
Gabriel.
in a rebuild mode, guys. I
They're
was
tanking.
yeah.
So they got worse, right?
And they're probably going to dish him on the trade deadline anyway.
Yeah, to the Hornets.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Team filled with bad contracts takes on another one. I just want
to clarify. I just want to clarify something with you, Ralphie. What
What's
were the Thunder last year? What were they?
a playoff team.
What are they now?
Non-existent.
So that means they got worse, right?
They did.
Okay.
But you didn't have them on their list.
No, I didn't.
But they got worse.
But they got worse.
Yes, but they're not my top 3.
But they got worse.
Yes, Frank.
And they went from being a playoff team to tanking.
Correct.
But you don't
But
have
they
them on
got
the list.
worse.
That's correct.
But
you
they're
don't-
not worse.
But you don't have them on the list.
But you don't
No,
have them on the list.
I do
Greg,
not.
your list, please. I'm really interested
my
to see where
list
this
is
goes.
going to be. Oh, that's not good. Sorry, I just saw Liberty versus Coastal's getting in jeopardy. That's not good.
Oh.
Game day was supposed to be at Coastal.
Are they still ranked?
Thanks, Lord. See you Friday.
No, because they lost to NC State.
Hmm.
So naturally, because I'm a smart human being, I have the Thunder as the worst team, as the team that got worse.
You're off to a good start. You're off to a really good
Good
start.
boy.
I would also throw in the Los Angeles Clippers as a team that got worse. I think losing Doc Rivers and swapping him with Ty Lue is probably the biggest reason. But you also can't let Montrezl Harrell just walk to the next locker room and expect to, sign Nick Batum and expect, Luke Kennard to make up for those spots. And then my third team that got worse is, I don't know. I guess we'll go with the Knicks. The Knicks, although I like what they did get worse. You know what I mean? Like, although I like where they're going, they still stink and they're getting worse because they're trying to acquire stuff that's of worth.
They went from being the 14th seed to the 15th seed.
Yeah.
I'll go real quick just because I know there's a lot of questions for us. My 3 teams, the Thunder, the Rockets.
Yeah, there you go.
You have to put the Rockets on there. And it's not even, and by the way, it was before Westbrook was traded, the Rockets were on my list. You did, Ralph, you didn't put the Thunder on your list.
And then this is, Brian, but this is the same guy who admitted the Ravens from the top 5 offenses in the NFL a couple months ago.
No, it was the
Are you surprised?
Cardinals.
I had the Cardinals.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Ravens, Cardinals, they're both bird teams.
And I have the Raptors, and not because I don't think the Raptors are going to miss the playoffs, but just based off of the Raptors were a 2 seed last year, who we all thought had a chance to get back to the finals. I think they're going to be around 5, 6 seeds. So when you drop 4 seeds and you lose your veteran presence, and like I said, they're still going to be good, but I'm just saying, I definitely would say, and also it's not a shot at them, but they're going to take a huge drop off because there's some teams that got way better in the East. So it's a 2-for-1 punch there.
What was your last team?
Yeah, and any time that you lose Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka and you replace with Aaron Baines.
Aaron Baines is good. Put some respect.
It's good, but he's not, he's not those two.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they get worse. You really got to get worse. Like if they would have lost Van Vliet, then I'm telling you, then they got worse. But they have toughness. They have veterans, and you expect Siakam to get better. So they might drop. They're obviously going to drop in the rankings a little bit for sure. But if Siakam takes another step, they could be that sleeper that's right up there. So they're like a weird one. They're a weird one. Like I don't disagree with it because they could. You know what I'm saying? That's like a weird team to me. I'm not just going to put Oklahoma on just because it's an easy one, right? So I don't know if they're even filling the team.
Drummer boy, sorry, Tom. This is A2D Radio, drummer boy. Hit the subscribe and the bell right where you're at, and you can stop listening to all those other guys.
RB,
And
RB, I know though. RB's a good dude. I like RB.
okay, you can maybe listen to him. Tommy knows him, so
Yeah, you listen to RB. Yeah. Subscribe, like Greg said. Hit the subscribe button, brother. Houston Rockets are on my list, obviously. San Antonio Spurs. You know, they're getting older and they're not getting better, right? They're going in a different direction. I like Dejounte Murray a little bit. You know what I mean? But in terms of like your two of your better players are like 90. I like LaMarcus Aldridge, always had, but he's 35 now. You know, DeMar DeRozan can't shoot. You know, he can't shoot off a boat into the water, you know, from the outside. So they're a team that's going in the opposite direction. And you might say, oh, well, Tom, that's the direction they're going in. We all knew it. All right, but they've been like the class of the West for a long time.
Yeah, they've been a staple for a while. Yep.
Yeah, and they're just not anymore, and they're going a different direction. But, you know, all the other ones were, were good names as well, good teams as well. So we'll play a little build our team here.
Well, I didn't give my list yet, and I have to go as well.
I wasn't.
So my list. Everybody was listing them off. I mean, everybody says the Houston Rockets, and a smart human being would also say the Oklahoma City Thunder. And lastly, I got the Detroit Pistons. And yes, Don, I gotta go help out my brother Mario, save the Mushroom Kingdom. I will see you guys eventually next week. So, peace.
Bye, Frank.
Ow, my knees. Ow.
Oh, see it. Oh, see you, Frank.
That was an interesting exit.
Always is.
It always is with Frank. You know, we love Frank with our hearts, but
I'm weird, man. I'm weird on this one. This one gets me, Philly.
Yes.
0024, because like your eyes, it's hard, man. Because Luke is a stud, but like
he is.
Ben has so much upside too. It's just like it's such a tough trade. You know what I mean? It's such a tough trade because I have so much upside for Ben Simmons, right? He's like your baby. He's like, we've nursed him. You know what I mean? We've nursed him. So let's go. So
but Luka is the only guy in the NBA that I'll even entertain trading Ben for. That's it.
yeah. I agree with you, Phil. He's already at an MVP level. Absolutely. 100% factual. Love the dude. It's just like I said, Ben's my baby. It's just so hard right now.
Mom is hot.
Yeah, I mean, for Greg, that's always a plus. So yeah, I agree. President Luke is the future of the league. So the rookie contract doesn't help us get it done because then they got to give us, they got to match money. So we're taking on bad contracts with it. You know what I mean? So you got to factor that into it. So there's a lot of that. But let's play this little game with everybody.
Let's do it.
Red. I know, baby. I know he's a killer. I know what Luka is. And Luke and Joe would look good together. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I understand it. I'm not doing this right now with you guys. I love you. I love you. I can't do this right now with you. I can't do it. Because Ben is hard to figure out, Richard. That's the problem. He's a great player that doesn't want to shoot. He's rare. Stop doing this to my baby. When you talking about Joe and Ben and Trace, I get upset. I get emotional. How can you do this to me? It's 11:15 at night. What are we doing? Let's play a couple games first. All right. So you pick your team. Pick your team. Team 1, Ben Simmons, Miles Sanders, Reese Hoskins. I'm just going to X out team 1 because of Reese Hoskins. There's no team that I'm drafting with Reese Hoskins on it. You could put the best goats. You could throw AI in there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sit that team out. Team 2, Joel Embiid, Aaron Noah, Tobias Harris. That's it. That's a team I love. That's a team I might be leaning towards. Team 3, Carson Wentz, Alec Boehm, Tyrese Maxey. All right, that's a little different team. That team's like has upside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has upside, but right now we don't know about that team. I mean, we know about Alec Boehm's hit, right? Carson Wentz.
A lot of questions.
Yep, and this team's really going to sell people. Shut up, Mario, you crumb brulee. I love you to death. Shut up. All right? Shut up. And when are you going to help me get my blue check mark? All right? You're running around a blue check mark, okay? You put a couple movies together. It's easy to do. All right? You put a camera, a couple edits.
Mario, what player you want in this?
Yeah,
that's Philadelphia sports right now, Mario. Just in case you didn't know.
These are shit. You can't put JT here because they don't want to sign him.
I can't believe that.
Team 4. Bryce Harper, Carter Hart, Dallas Goedert. And,
Reese wouldn't even be on this list if JT was signed.
no, I mean, listen. Put the list back up for a second. I gotta tell people something. All right. On every one of these lists, there's an issue.
Yep.
Everybody's listening. Now I know everybody's gonna say Team 4 because of the hair and the locks, and Bryce is gonna sell you on Team 4. And Carter Hart is a pimp, right? And we know, and we always need a goaltender. But Team 2 as your leader for the Sixers, your ace for the Phillies, and another gigantic part of what you need to be successful for the Sixers, right? So it's a little Sixers heavy. But when we talk about children in this town, when we talk about who Tom's kids are, it's a no freaking brainer what team I'm picking. Tobias, I'm like, why is Tobias got to be on there? But every team has a team where I'm like, Like Dallas Goedert to me is, meh.
You have a lot of responses here.
You know, Team 1, Richard says, woo.
Got Team 4. Team 4.
Wow, Team 2.
Team 4.
Tyreek's with me. There he is. Yeah, I know, Phil. Tobias Harris makes me not want to take that team. But, like, Joe just sells me on it. Of course you're taking 4. You know, he took 4 all because of locks.
Yeah, you know, you got to match flow with flow, you know?
Yeah, Don, I'll give you that in a heartbeat. I'll pay you to take that. Jake Elliott, Giroux, and
my God, Whiteside. Jesus.
Gabriel Sari says Team 4 as the face of the Phillies and the Flyers plus Dallas could be a stud. Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument, you know, Team 2 as your face of the Sixers, your ace of the Phillies, and some guy. But I hear you.
Still the ace?
Well, what's the face of the Phillies?
Good one, Greg.
Is he still the ace?
Oh,
I don't know. That's a good. What, Nola you're talking about, Greg?
Say something. Anybody with a Philly on it makes me want to puke. Okay, I don't care who it is. I don't give a shit who you put on at the Philly. I'm strictly picking list 2 because of Joel Embiid and my love affair. All right, I say it's never an agenda day today. Sometimes late at night, when you're talking about lists like this and fun lists, it becomes agenda based. So I'm taking it because of my son. All right, and I know why people will take 4 because of their kids. And Carter Hart's another son of mine, but anything like the face of the Philly turns me off now. Like, you know what I mean? Like I like Bryce. I love Bryce. He's here forever, supposedly. But now anything face of the Phillies, I'm so turned off by it. I just can't.
Don, you read my – Tom knows this because we were talking earlier. Next week, what we're doing the same thing, but an all Philadelphia miss list. It's going to be – the 4 teams are going to be constructed of players that we could have had in the draft and free agency.
Guess we'll go down Heartbreak Road.
Yep.
It's going to be a blowout, Ralphie.
So where we just get
driving along, and then
yeah. You guys want to just have a have a show of depression, like a tissue
depression den.
Issue talk.
Richard, I had to do Hoskins instead of Fletcher because if I put Fletcher, it would have been easier. You got to have an issue for everybody, unless. Even though I don't know, some people were mad at Fletcher.
DM gate.
That too. Ralphie, so which one are you going with, Ralphie? 4?
Team 4, yes. Team 4.
Right?
Match the flow with the flow.
Here, I'll flash it up again for everybody. Hold on, let me get Richard out.
We're going to go Team Hair.
Oh, sorry, Greg.
Team 4.
I can't see the flow.
Team Hair.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Team 4.
Jesus.
Can't wait to.
Well, that's gonna be a meme. That's gonna be a meme. No, that was a mistake. That was a mistake by you.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even care about Goddard, but I'll take him. I was intrigued by 2. I do agree with Tommy. I was intrigued. I think Joel and I can have some fun, throw down some Chick-fil-A together. He might introduce me some sauces that I don't know about. Both avid Chick-fil-A guys.
See, I think we can all agree there's no chance in hell I'm taking 1. Oh, other way.
I love it. I love it.
Everybody, Ralph, get in here, Ralph. Other way, Ralph.
I love it.
Team 3 is underrated, Zane. Zane Williams says Team 3 is underrated. It is. It is. It's got like upside. Team 3 got some upside.
But it's got that bombshell at the top. It's got that lightning rod bombshell at the top.
Well, Greg, way to segue into our Eagles rant. It's a little Eagles rant session. We want everybody to get it off their chest.
By the way, I'm going Team 3, by the way. I'm going Team 3.
You are going with the lightning rod.
I am, because it's a team off of potential. And listen, Philadelphia's built off potential. We got sold potential for so many years. And I got to think, hey, Carson,
especially with the Eagles, right?
Well, I know going forward.
Listen, he could have potential in 3 to 5 years, guys. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying now, Ralphie. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm saying, okay, Carson, I don't think forgot how to play football. I love Alec Boehm, and I think Maxey could be a really great player for us. So I'm going with the process route. I'll see you in 6 years.
Hey, Howie.
Yeah.
Real quick, how many young guys for the Phillies are going to play this year? Are going to be up?
Who?
Is there anybody you're like outside of Baum that you're thinking about?
It's probably Spencer
Well,
Howard.
like Randolph and
Who?
And all them.
Who?
You don't think they're going to get a shot?
Randolph. Who?
Dude, Randolph might be a bigger miss than Mickey Moniak.
I think Randolph is selling cars down the street to my house.
You think do you think Mickey makes the team? Finally makes the team?
No.
I think he does.
I hope he does.
I hope he does too. It's been what? Almost 4. It's going to be 4 years now since we took him, right? When was his draft? 2017, 2016?
It's been 84 years, Ralphie.
Yeah. It's been 4 years. The clock is ticking.
Just talks about that move in Segura, I heard today.
Yeah, he's on
I
the
saw
block.
that rumor.
Yeah.
I could be intrigued by a lot of what Toronto has.
Hey, Lindor. I know it won't get it done.
They'll find a way not to pay him in a year.
Yeah, lost $2 billion, supposedly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Philly. Like maybe a little Bryson Scott. Bryson Scott. Sorry. Maybe a little Bryson. I mean, it's Harper's son. So we were talking kids.
And if you lost a lot of money, he's your shortstop.
Good thing we won't have fans because it's going to be like the Dodgers. They won't be able to give out ketchup. Remember when the Dodgers were bankrupt? They couldn't give out free ketchup.
Yeah, tough times. Gabriel, he might be pumping your gas after this year.
Yeah.
YDK. Well, Ralphie loves your future. He still thinks you're a playoff team, right, Ralphie?
No, I never said that. Never said that.
You just don't think they got worse.
I think they did, but they're not my top 3.
That's horrifying out of you. It's horrifying. They don't have a team anymore, Ralphie.
All right. So, what do you guys need to get off your chest here when it comes to the Eagles?
Well, I think Sunday I got a lot off my chest on Sunday when we were doing or Monday night, excuse me.
We know you have that time.
This team.
That time now. You've had a couple days to let it simmer.
This team is just I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. From the top to the bottom. I mean, this team is just a mess. Seems like every single day you're waking up to new news about, this player doesn't like this player. Some people in the front office wanted Jefferson, but Howie said, you know what? I run the show. We're going to take Rieger. And it seemed like that caused drama. At least one of the reports said. And, Jeffrey Lurie's walking out of practices because he's disgusted with the team. It's just the Eagles are a complete mess right now. And it sucks. It sucks because we had, high hopes for this season. At least, all of us did that are doing the show right now. Had us a playoff team and even win a division again. Had us, all 4 of us had us 10+ wins this year. And we won't even sniff that. It absolutely sucks to see where the Eagles are right now.
I have one thing, and we're hearing reports, rumblings. I'm glad we're at the point of the season now where just the leaks are coming out because I didn't know if we were going to get that because the media is not in the locker room. It almost feels good that the leaks are coming now. You know what I'm saying? Because now we finally get some answers. And it adds to the pain and anger, all that stuff. But I think it goes back to draft night. We were all in the air at the time. All of us, not just on this show, pretty much everyone on A2D. And most of us agreed that we had just a bad feeling, with all the picks, certain picks. Started with that first one, really solidified with that second one, and even that third one. Some people were excited. Some people said, really? Rager over Jefferson? Really? It's interesting. Somebody said, a backup quarterback over like a lineman or chin or running back or over anything. That's weird. And then you just hear all the reports of, we believe in Alshon, but we're gonna try and trade him behind closed doors every chance we get. Or, Jalen Hurts is gonna play a lot, but all the reports from practice is that he doesn't look ready and he can't throw the football yet. Or, just so many things. And now you hear that Carson didn't like the pick, which, yeah, I think we all kind of assume that. If he liked the pick, then I would question his mental state, to be honest. And then you find out, the Rager pick over Jefferson has caused rifts in the organization. Yeah, it's caused rifts in this fan base too, from the second that pick was made. So, like we've talked about all offseason and majority of the season. It's been a year of lies, starting with Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie. And it's gotten so bad to where they've gotten so incompetent, those two, Lurie and Howie, even to the point where now we have, Tim McManus saying today on ESPN that, he really doesn't believe that Lurie would get rid of Howie because those two run the ship and those are like 1A, 1B. They've been so incompetent to where I don't even go to Doug Peterson anymore. And I'm not saying he's been good. I'm not saying he's been bad, okay? But I'm not saying I give him a pass, but when you have those two clowns, those two jokers up top, and they're making decisions for you, roster decisions, game day decisions, damn. Yeah, it's bad. It's going to get bad. It's going to get worse.
Yeah. What GM? I guess other teams do it, but it just, me personally, I said this Monday night after the game. Me personally, if I'm a coach, I want to make the decision on who plays on Sunday and who doesn't, not the GM, right? Because as a coach, you're there at practice majority of the time. You're seeing these players develop half of the time. You're in the wide receiver room, quarterback's room. You're in the rooms with them. So, you see the progression more than a GM would on a day-to-day basis.
That's why we went downhill. Alliance fans subscribed to us on draft day. We were doomed ever since.
It's spreading.
Damn it, Don.
And now Don's telling me the other day, hey, because I was saying, hey, maybe Doug will go to Detroit. He's like, I don't want that. It's bad when the organization who just had friggin' Matt Patricia, and they say, hey, we don't want what you got.
Nah, I love you, Don. It's been a fun ride. Yeah, no, I what's funny is
there's something funny.
Yeah.
We all knew after this year it was going to be interesting. You know what I mean? Because of the cap situation, right? And you could, you kind of saw the writing on the wall after this year. You know what I mean? Like, we were all hoping and dying for this year to be the last run because, again, you go back to, the Andy Reid era and and Jeffrey Lurie say we want to be the gold standard.
Yeah.
Well, we were the gold standard for 1 year. You're the gold standard for 1 year. Because if even the ones you make the playoffs, listen, I understand things happen in the playoffs, but you look back to those years and everybody kind of understood that we were a one and done team. Even towards the end of the Andy Reid where we made the playoffs too, right? And it's not just recently. So it goes back to just an organization of lies and of a carpet system, right? Or like, we're going to show you what we think we're going to be, and we're going to make the playoffs every year. But it's not really, you're not really a championship contender every year. That's a gold standard.
Yeah.
And Tommy, in your video today about Doug, you're right. I don't necessarily agree with keeping him on, but where I do agree with you is we're not a destination right now. We're absolutely not a destination. We are in cap hell. You now have two idiots up front running the organization, and you don't know which one is head idiot. You know,
true.
Greg, when did the Dallas Cowboys 20 plus years ago
it was so funny. I was just going there, mind melt. Like
what happens is when you win a Super Bowl, right? To the people out there, when you win one, the whole room's got egos, including your owner. So now egos go crazy because you finally won one, and you won one in a place where they have never won one. So the impact that has, everybody's got an ego now. Everybody thinks they have something to say. Go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
No, I was absolutely going there. What do we always trash the Cowboys for? What do we always trash the Redskins for? What do we always trash the Browns for? Having owners that stick their hands in the football business.
Yeah.
And help make football decisions. Jeffrey Lurie, I understand you're pissed off that you passed on Russell Wilson. But 32 teams passed on Russell Wilson 3 times because he was a 3rd-round pick.
And why are they addressing it
why
now?
Why address it now?
After you traded up to get a guy in 2016 and just paid him $100 million.
When was that draft? 2012, correct?
Oh my God, who knows? Yeah, I forget exactly.
2011, I think. But either way.
So you're 9 years removed from it, and it's still coming up.
And you're still chasing it.
Yeah.
You're still chasing it.
Yeah.
For a guy who's not it.
If you're chasing it, then why'd you just give your quarterback that much money?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just
and then another thing too, why, if you're chasing it, why did you trade for Lamar? Why did you trade out of 32 2017 when Lamar Jackson was on the board still? If you were still focused on, man, we passed up Russ, man, we can't do that again.
Yeah,
then why didn't you stay at 32 and take Lamar?
How ironic was that was our pick, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, you're absolutely right. And then now it's all of a sudden.
Quick, Greg.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll make a bold statement right now. I'll make a bold statement because I to me, Lamar Jackson can't throw at all. Like I haven't seen him throw an out pattern like Jalen Hurts threw the other day. I haven't seen him throw an out pattern like that. Period. I'm not saying he doesn't have a stronger arm. Yep. I'm just saying I haven't seen him throw an out pattern that accurate before. And he was more elusive. But I bet you if Jalen Hurts ever gets a chance, he might be able to be a better quarterback than he is. Not saying an MVP ever, because that could be a mirage. Like, because you rush for freaking 2,000 yards. You know what I mean? And you're so electric. He's not Mike Vick. He's not going to do that every year because they run our fucking POs all day, and people are going to start blowing his ass up like they have. So you're not going to be able to do it all the time. So if you can't throw the ball, you get exposed. He's getting exposed this year when he did play. He's been getting exposed. He's the reason they were 6-4 coming in a Wednesday game. You know what I mean? Not the rest of that roster. Not the rest. Him. He stunk. He's stunk in the pocket. He hasn't been good enough. He turned the football over 1 million times, too. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't been good. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was an MVP. So, I just think it's to that point, but again, it's not that you picked a backup quarterback. It's when you did it. Like Ralphie just said, Greg, even if you wanted to do it, then why not do it back then?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then you continue with the recent draft history and what I think what Brian Westbrook, because I don't have it up, four starters in your last 5 drafts. That's what you have. 4 starters in your last 5 drafts, something like that. Like, that's absurd. And how that guy isn't fired. And now there's rumors coming out that like he might not be fired.
Yeah.
Like if Howie goes, then you can do whatever you want with Doug, right? I will absolutely, as much as I don't like Doug, I will absolutely agree that if Doug is the only one to go, it's the wrong move because Howie's got to be the first to go. If they're a tandem, then that is what it is. But if Howie doesn't go and your scapegoat is Doug, then that's not fair.
Yeah,
and that's coming from a guy who doesn't even think Doug's. You know what I mean? Like, that is completely unfair because you gave him shit to work with. He might not be good, but you also didn't help him out any.
He's not good, he's at least not this bad.
Who's coaching this roster to the playoffs? Take away the NFC East for a second. Just take away how bad the NFC East is because the NFC East is bad, but our roster is so bad.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
In defense of Doug, and I'm not like going to sit here and I already did the video. You can find it. Like I already said what I said, and I said it on ATD After Dark and away too. Like there's no running from what I think is bad play design at times. But I'll promise you this: it's not as bad play design as you think it is. A lot of it is nobody can get goddamn open.
Yeah,
right?
Or block.
It sure is.
Or block.
Or block. Nobody can get open. Jordan Mailata is just a freaking guy. I don't care what anybody says. Not a starting left tackle in this league. Not consistently. Got exposed on freaking Monday night. All right. I don't want to hear it anymore. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it anymore about anybody on this offensive line. This whole offensive line's been atrocious. All right. And his whole wide receiving core's been atrocious. The whole thing's been goddamn atrocious. So this thing's far from a one person problem, but it is. It is a one-person problem. It is Howie Roseman. It is Jeffrey Lurie. So you can say it's a two-person problem, like Greg said.
Two-person problem, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I am disgusted. I'm freaking tired of it. I'm tired of the act. I'm tired of the reach picks. I'm tired of trying to be the smartest goddamn guy in the room. I'm tired of overriding coaches that have been here for a while. I'm tired of my ego getting involved on draft day decisions. I'm tired of my ego getting involved period decisions. If the rumors are true that he's deciding who's dressing, if the rumors are true that – because listen, there's so many rumors. Some of them got to be true, but most of the rumors, none of them have been true. Like, oh, Jalen Hurts going to get more snaps. No, he's not. This is going to happen. No, it's not.
That's the other thing. Like, this is where I go to. This is where I go with the Doug. Sorry,
real quick. I think the media's bored too. But go ahead.
No. But this is where I go to Doug. Right? Jalen's going to get more time, and then you go, oh, Doug, why didn't Jalen get more time? He's like, oh, we didn't find the right spot. Your offense has 4 yards in your first 7 series. You couldn't find the right spot?
Yeah.
Greg, if he didn't throw a freaking 7-yard pass, we would have been in the negatives.
I know.
You understand? Like, after he completes that pass, he's got to get – like, I'm not trying to bench Carson. I'm just saying he just completed a pass. No. We haven't completed a pass yet. Give him another drop back.
Even that series, he came in on second down. Like, why didn't you just start the series?
I'm telling you right now, by the way, I'm so confident in this. The Jalen Hurts rumors, you know where that's coming from, right? Think about it. The owner. It's the friggin' owner. That's what he wants. The owner's pushing that narrative out, and then once the reason why we're getting mixed signals, it's because the owner.
Hold on, real quick. $100 million contract doesn't get signed without that owner's approval. Then that's why he needs to sell the team.
That's my point. It's incompetency. Yes.
You can sign a $1 million contract without the owner, maybe a $5 million piece. Be sure as hell ain't inking your franchise quarterback for $100+ million without the owner's approval. So what's he doing?
It just doesn't make sense when you did sign Carson to that $109 million guaranteed deal, and then, all this year you're hearing, we got to run Jalen out there. And it's then you sit there as a fan, you're like, then what was the point of even giving Carson that deal then?
Well,
what was the point?
Because that's my final point. To everybody out there who's saying that we shouldn't have gave Carson that contract, at that time, you all forgot what was going on.
Yeah.
Because if you don't give Carson that contract right now, we're here a year ago. He was coming off arguably, he set passing records his rookie year, right? Most completions or something his rookie year, even though they were bad. But again, they were bad because Lane Johnson went down. Then he was in, albeit MVP.
Would have won MVP if
would have won MVP if he never got hurt. Plus the Super Bowl year, right?
Yep.
And then the following year, wasn't that the year he threw for like 5,000 yards and not one receiver had over 500 yards?
Last year.
Yep.
So you're telling me that guy you wouldn't have given a max contract to when you invested so much to go get him?
Yeah.
In all the draft stock, right? I mean, this year he has been absolute horseshit. I am not saying he's getting a pass on this year. But you can't sit there and truly look back objectively and say we shouldn't have signed him to that deal.
Yeah. And it's not like, in 2016, it's not like you moved up one spot, right? You had to move twice to go get him. So you had to go 13 to 8, then 8 all the way up to 2. You had to move twice. And you're selling the farm for this kid. And obviously the first 2 years were, you were what you were getting out of Carson. Okay. This is what Carson was doing at North Dakota State. Then 2018 and 2019, obviously the injury problems. But then last year, 2019, he finally gets it together, leads his team to the playoffs with wide receivers, like you said, Greg, hasn't even caught over 500 yards, which is insane. And we in the offseason this year too, we said, damn, we got younger. We finally got younger. But it seems like when they step out onto the field, there is no young about this team. It's all old dudes still, it seems like. The wide receivers can't get open. Okay, like I forget who said Monday night, it took Alshon Jeffrey 3 days to get open.
Louis Riddick.
Okay, yeah. Took him 3. I mean, it's all over the place. The defensive line, I mean, where's Hargrave at, dude? I mean, we gave you a buttload of money, dude.
Who?
I mean, where are you, man? Same thing with Malik Jackson, too. Like, where are you, dude? We gave you a buttload of money 2 years ago. Or last year, excuse me. Nowhere to be found. Secondary outside of Slay or Slay's Monday night game. I mean, Slay's been the only positive on this defensive side of the ball. Everybody else is just a guy, it seems like.
Yeah,
there's nothing there.
Him, Graham, and I guess Singleton. It's the only
three positives for the defense. And then you look at the offense, it's like, Jesus.
I got a weird feeling. I have such a weird feeling right now. I tell you guys something. So Zach Ertz is coming back Sunday, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of us, we would say at this point, like, whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Zach's coming back. He can quit again, right? Zach Ertz wants money. Okay? Zach Ertz just sat out because he was hurt, lowered his stock, obviously, when you're trying to force somebody in the money. So I got a weird vibe that Zach Ertz is going to be a little bit more motivated than the Zach Ertz we saw earlier on in the season. Okay, I got a little vibe that he's watched his friend get trashed in this city, trashed, because that's what's happened to Carson Wentz. He's gotten trashed, and rightfully so to a point, right? Rightfully so, right? You play this bad in the NFL, you get trashed. That's how it works. Okay, watch his buddy get trashed. So I'm hoping that he comes out with, maybe a little bit more focus, and the Zach Ertz we know. All right, the Zach Ertz who always gets open. That's it. I don't care about what he does after he gets open. Like a Zach Ertz who extends drives, gets open. We can't convert on third down, right? You think a big part of that is his go-to guy on third down? When all this shit's out here, there's a bunch of shit out there. A bunch of shit. Okay? Yeah. Somebody can straight face tell me Jalen Reagor's going to be a player in this league, I'm going to smack you in the mouth. I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. And you tell me, oh, yeah, give it a couple years. Stop it a couple years. Everybody else is playing right now, playing good. What does he need a couple years for? He's getting balls. He's getting balls thrown to him. It's not like he's not getting targeted. And he's getting targeted with bubble screens last week, and it looks like he can't make anybody miss. Okay? Gets he gets a jet sweep. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that wasn't anything like where I saw like, oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah. When they finally did it, Tom, I was literally like, I waited 12 weeks for that. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? And great, I understand that they can't block it all, but come on. I mean, the guy's not it.
Make a guy miss or two. If you're electric, you make a guy miss or two.
Break a tackle. I know you're 5 foot tall, but break one tackle.
So I don't want to hear him anymore. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear anybody.
Yeah.
But what I will say to you guys is last year, exact week, a punter or a kicker. No, sorry, it was a kicker. I want to retract here on who exactly it was. Wasn't a punter. It was a kicker. Threw a touchdown pass against us in Miami. And if you recall, we were in the same conversation this time last year.
Yeah.
Now you look at it, and it's even worse because we played worse than we played last year. Our schedule is 100 times harder than it was last year. One, because we stink, and two, because our schedule's hard. There you got that. I got a weird feeling about Sunday's football game.
Oh, no.
I have the weirdest feeling, and I'll tell you why. Because it's just the NFL. The Packers look unbeatable.
They do.
unbeatable, right? They just beat their division rivals in a big-time game and blew the doors off, right?
Yep.
Ebb and flow in the league. The league has ebb and flow. Things go up and down. We stink. We can't get first downs. We don't even know what first downs are. First downs are like, we get a first down, like, did we score? Did we score, guys? Yeah,
Do we get points for this?
Look at my wife. We're going like, look at us. Look at us. Look at us. Pom-poms are out. You know what I mean? All jazzed up. But listen, this I can't believe I'm saying this. I got a feeling they're going to go win this football game in Green Bay. They play good in Green Bay. They always play good in Green Bay. They're not even expected to compete. They're expected to get their doors blown off against the Packers, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I got a feeling Zach Ertz is back. Joker, tell me don't do this. I'm not doing it to myself because I have no confidence in this, right? Understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying isn't confidence built. The hell was that? See something just jump at me?
Oh, Jesus.
That was reality that hit you.
Yep, something hit me. I don't know what the hell that was.
Well, we got it on tape.
That was Carson saying, "Are you freaking crazy?"
Go back to that. I was love to know what jumped at me. But listen. No, Jacob, that's not how I feel every week. I said, okay, this is what I've said every week. If anybody picks them to win, they're crazy. They're delusional. I'm telling you just from a gambling aspect, an ebb and flow of the league aspect, that weird shit happens that shouldn't happen, right? And at the end of the day, he gets his favorite target back on Sunday. And if there's ever a time for an offense, listen, if you put your nose up to this shit, I'll come to your house.
I'm just listening.
Put your nose up to if anybody on this panel puts their nose up about Zach Ertz coming back with what we have out there, y'all need to stop because I'm tired of watching bad football. And I know getting Zach Ertz back makes me better, and we stink. So I'll take anything that makes us better. Christ, we have no offensive weapons. I want somebody to have to game plan for somebody. Game plan for somebody on the somebody you have to try to stop. For one time, I mean, this guy has no help. No help at all. He needs it. This football team needs it. And this might be a hot tub time machine from the last year. We were done. Watch them go win this game. I'm just telling you how it works. Watch them. I don't think they do. I don't know how they freaking do. But just watch them go win this game in Green Bay because they play good there for some reason, and that's how it works. And it's like Seattle owns our ass, right? Seattle owns us. Hello, they own us, right? We beat Green Bay for some reason. We just do. And they'll probably run the ball 30 times. Watch it. Because they can't stop the run. They can't stop the run. Watch it. He's going to run the ball 30 times. We're going to be like, where did it come from? Because guess what time of the year it is, boys? We say it every year. It's December. It's December. Look, I'm going to give up play calling duties a little bit, right? It's now December. Guess what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Guess what happens? How much y'all want to bet we run the football out on Sunday? Who wants to bet me? Anybody? And no, because I'm right with this. This week does every year to us. It's a mind fuck. It's a mind fuck. For September, October, November, we don't run the football. Every year, we don't run the football. We're like 6 carries. Like everybody this week, 6 freaking carries. Is this guy okay? What are we playing, Madden? 6 carries. Right? And then he's like, watch this. I run the ball 25 times with Miles because nobody thinks we're going to do it. It's like that's his adjustment. Because his adjustment's mind-boggling. You know what I mean? To a point. But it's just funny. Watch him do it. He does it every year this time of year. Now we're going to start running the football. Oh, does Jordan Howard suit up this week? Wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Probably does.
We have to ask Howie if he does because he's making the player personnel changes.
Colin, you can laugh. Go look at the numbers. He does this shit year in, year out. Year in, year out, he doesn't touch the run game, and then all of a sudden December, he says, "Oh no, I'll put it in the belly." Watch Miles have a big game on. Just watch Miles have a big game on Sunday. That's all I'm going to say to you guys. I'm not telling you Carson's coming out and spending it. I ain't going there. Watch Miles in the run game have a good game on Sunday, and keep this team in it, and then we'll see where that goes. I'm not going to straight face predict them to win. I'm just telling you they play good in Green Bay. We stink. Factual. Let me confirm that again. We stink. We stink. We get an offensive weapon back or somebody has to at least game plan for somebody. They don't stop the run at all. This is well documented. and this is where Miles could have a big freaking huge game. Watch. They think we're going to throw the ball 50 times. We'll end up running at 35.
And the line actually is set right. You know what I mean? It's 8.5, so it's probably about right. And that means you can still lose by a touchdown and still cover, and in theory, be in the game.
Yep, I'm just telling you guys. I don't know how they win the game.
Packers 36-12.
I have Packers 31-13.
I'll take a bet that they don't lose by more than double digits. I'll take that bet. Anybody want to bet me anything? They might lose by like 9, but they're not going to watch. They don't lose by double digits. Watch.
You're sadly you're right, because it's got that feel. You know what I mean? It does have that feel because it makes 0 sense. You know what I mean? Like, it makes 0 sense.
They'll run.
Thanks, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.
We try to keep it real.
What happens if Mile goes for 150, 160?
Well, that's been my whole point the year.
Well, we know this. We say it every year. Greg, go run the tape back to me.
Yeah.
You talking every Wednesday night about the same shit. And I say every year, watch, this is when he's going to run the ball. This is what he believes in. This is what he believes in to keep people healthy.
The only thing that scares me, is that caveat. Again, the Philadelphia Eagles are an organization built around caveats, right? Yeah. And the caveat to Doug, I might give up play calling. You know what? Well, Doug, I don't know if you've watched the game for the last couple of weeks. It's a rut. What a rut is.
I think Harden got him.
He just froze up. Good to have it.
Somebody get a screenshot.
Screenshot. Hurry.
It does not go away.
Oh my God, my camera froze up. Somebody get it.
You didn't say that. I got it.
Okay.
David, thanks, brother. That's what we're here to, man. Some laughs. You know, we want to have laughs here. But Greg froze up. But listen, Richard said December Doug, and he's right on. This is what he does every year. Molly Mall, 28-24. And listen, if you're just joining us, all right? Just joining us. Sorry, I was reading something. If you're just joining us, subscribe, like, please. Of course, Len doesn't agree with me. I don't necessarily.
That's amazing.
Think we're beating Green Bay. I'm just saying that this is how it goes. Like, I know Doug Peterson long enough. All right? I've seen this act. Right? He's gonna go run the ball 30 times and run it right up their ass. Because that's what he does in Green Bay. That's what he does in Green Bay. That's what he does, and that's what he does every year in December.
Touchdown, Eagles!
Ryan, we talked Sixers for an hour and a half, I believe. So,
yeah.
Listen, dude. I mean, listen, brother. We're not gonna be nonstop talking Sixers.
Let's go.
Sweep's got the screenshot too.
That's awesome.
Listen. I'm gonna clarify this again. We stink. Okay, we stink. They're really good. Rodgers is a pimp. They just blew out the Bears.
Yeah.
Things even out a little bit when it comes to that. And this is a game Doug will run the ball 35 freaking times. And they'll run it efficiently, and they'll somehow hang with them, and then somehow beat them.
John's coming after you.
What am I? I'm just telling you a chance. Watch them beat them. Just watch them beat them. I don't know how they do. If Ertz is really back, and they run the football, I've seen crazier shit in this league. Listen, TTP. If Devontae Adams blows Slay up, I'll cut Slay on the fucking spot. He's going. You understand me?
We're not doing that.
I'll cut his ass on the spot. You can't cover Metcalf.
Now I know we're getting late tonight. Because
why do I have you? What do I have you then? Nobody hammered him for saying I got to do a better job. We know. 10 for 177. You got to do a better job.
It seems like everybody after every single Eagles game is, I got to do better. We got to do better.
Is becoming
no shit, dumbass. No shit, you got to do better. You just got blown out.
That's the thing. Rodgers
We just lost 4 straight games. Of course we got to do better.
Yeah. Rodgers never had a bad game in his life.
Oh yeah, plenty. Plenty.
I will give you this, okay? As much as I think the game's going to be over in the second quarter,
for a second. It could be over 5 minutes. It could be over on kickoff.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
I just want to confirm where I'm at.
I'm trying to help you.
There's no water in my glass. You understand? There's
Yes.
no water in my glass. I made this clear every week. I ain't picking. If I pick them to win, it's because it's just this league's nuts and Doug's nuts in my head now. Like Doug, this is when Doug gets runny. This is when he says, "Oh, I'll run it 35 times." Look at that. Look at us now in December. Here we go.
It's gonna be like the Dallas game on the kickoff, right? We get the fun ball. I can't tell whoever got the ball, so it's Green Bay's ball.
Touchdown, Greg. Touchdown.
Joker, what are you paying him for, Joker? I mean, what am I paying him for? I'm paying him the cover guys. I'm paying him the cover guys. I'm not paying him to get beat against the best. I mean, when are we going to stop making excuses? He's got to make plays against the best. Big play Slay. It's not a little play Slay. What the 28?
Just 28 to.
I'll bet you.
Just did not finish.
I'll bet you a PS5. I'll bet you a PS5, man. You don't even got. I'll bet you a PS5 that they don't lose by more than more than 10. I'll bet you PS5.
This might be a great Christmas for Tommy.
He wins either way.
Now we get smacked. Now we get beat by 9. You know what I mean? Opening kickoff. Nobody returns kickoffs anymore. They'll return 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and a punt return. We punt a lot. There may be even 2 of that. I mean,
the Green Bay Packers have laid a couple. They've laid a couple eggs this year. Okay.
uh-huh.
They have. There's been some weeks. I think one was against the Vikings, the other against the Bucks.
And what did the Vikings do? What did the Vikings do to him? Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook had a big game against.
I think he had 4
touchdowns. Oh, I know, Ralphie. That's why I'm in the playoffs right now.
Why the Packers get eliminated? Why the Packers lose to San Fran last year in the playoffs?
They couldn't stop the run.
So
how's he been? Listen, this is what I want to ask people. I got to ask people this. Because I think we get too statty sometimes. He's been okay. But when you don't take the football, why are the Pittsburgh Steelers 11-0?
Because they take away the football.
And they have 10 on the offense.
And they lead the National Football League in points off turnovers.
Back-to-back years, too. Back-to-back years. They've done last year, too.
That makes you good. If you don't take the football away ever, I don't care what you shut guys down to. You talk about the way games go emotionally, right? Right?
Yeah.
And how you can take over momentum so quick, right? Look, interceptions, fumbles change momentum. Just getting off the field on third down doesn't change momentum as much. Like, I'm not saying the guy's got to have 22 picks, but he's got none. So I don't care what he's done. I don't care that he stopped some guys. Congratulations. I'd rather have a guy like a Asante Samuel type, a Marcus Peters type. I'd rather have somebody who takes the football away then. If you're going to get beat, fine, everybody gets beat. I'm not beating him up for getting beat. I'm beating him up for not taking the football away.
Isn't Asante Samuel's son coming out in the draft?
But it's not a shot at Darius. I like Darius. I'm just letting people know. Like, I mean, he's got smoked up and down the field. We just watch him. If he turns it, we talk about none of our corners turn around for the football, dude. The one was placed in his fucking lap. He just turned around for the football. You got an interception. So I don't want to hear excuses. We're not making excuses for anybody on this roster anymore. All right? Nobody. There ain't a player on this roster that's like, well, you know what? No, you don't know what. I do know. Whatever it is. Who? Chase? You want Chase in the draft?
No, Asante Samuel Jr.
Oh, Jr. in the draft. Everybody's better than Byron Maxwell.
Oh God! Don't say that name. Don't say that name in front of me.
Kendra said, you all really think Doug is going to use common sense when it comes to putting a game plan together? No, not common sense. I just think he's going to run the ball a ton. That's all.
Honestly, and this is the biggest reason why I don't fully buy into the shock like the past couple years. Zach Ertz can come back all he wants. We can run the football. This offensive line isn't doing anything. How are we running this football? How are we running the football behind this line?
Well, I will say one thing now. The only good thing for them is it looks like it's going to be a full week of practice. But now Matt Pryor's not going to play and Driscoll's going to play. So
I actually think that's an upgrade, though. I mean, it's like Apple. It's not good, but
No,
That's
I mean,
what Pryor
that's what
sucks.
happened, right? Salmao and Kelsey got to play out of their minds, and it's hard.
Mailata has to play like he was before he got benched.
But sometimes when you're running the football, it gets you going.
Yeah,
And guys
Pryor's
get
pretty good.
helmet on helmet, and you get offensive lines going that way a little bit. So it's a team you can run the football against. It's a team I believe Doug's going to go in and run the football against, and if he doesn't, then I get even more pissed off at him.
they're banged up on their O-line. Their center's out. I mean, they're banged up on their offensive line. There's ways to win. And like I said, the Green Bay Packers have laid a couple eggs this year. They played down the competition. But with that being said, 36-12.
All right, I'm going to go 28-24 Eagles.
Win.
Uh-huh.
28-20. Ooh, okay. Ralph, win?
No, Packers win 31-13. I have no hope in this offense or this team as a whole. 31-13 Packers.
Reconfirm my pick's not on hope. No, it's that zero to do with hope. Zilch. There's no hope here.
Great.
I just don't have any faith in this team anymore, Tommy.
I just can't picture them winning another game. I mean, that's
no.
where I've gotten to.
Real quick, this isn't a pretty 28-24 win. This is you get some turnovers, you run the football. You know what I mean? Nobody's crowning it. It's a pretty one. They're going to win. They're going to win this game. It's going to be crazy. Watch.
Greg?
31-23. Packers.
That might be a moral victory. Is that a backdoor cover?
That's almost right on the number cover.
Moral
8.5 to 8.
Moral victory.
By the way, Baylor's pretty good.
They win the night?
Yeah, they destroyed them.
Philly will be Philly. Doug will go for 2, only just needing an extra point, lose 28-27.
Sounds about right. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We all gave our thoughts there. All right. Fan Friday on Friday. Everybody tune in.
Call in, everybody. Call in.
Come on the screen with us and talk whatever you want to talk about. We give everybody like 3 to 5 minutes. Come on, spit it with us for a little bit. It's gonna be fun. Fan Friday, 9:00 Friday nights. So I just got a crumb in a day real quick, and then we can get the hell out of here. All right. The NFL. Okay, and the reason you bubble, I just want to confirm with people. The reason you bubble more than anything is so your stars stay on the goddamn court, field, etc. Okay? And you're better players. You deal with this fucking service to your product when you don't have your better players out there. You do with this service to your product at what Denver went through on Sunday. You do with this service to your product. What I having RG3 start a football game and the MVP of the league's out. I don't care if I like Lamar, dislike Lamar, etc. It's not the point. You had 7 to 9 Pro Bowlers out of that game, or have missed because of it for the Ravens. Missed games. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke to think that you can just get away with it. The NBA gave you a blueprint, and you guys didn't want to follow it at all. So, what do you think was going to happen over time? And the fact of the matter is, I don't care about guys coming back and being fine. That's not my conversation. My conversation is I want the better players on the field. Right when we watch football, I don't be missing the better players. I want to watch all the good players. When it comes to the NBA, right, coming up, I don't be missing Joe for 2 weeks, right? I don't want to be missing Ben. Like if I want to miss him, I want to be an injury. You know what I mean? Which we had enough of anyway. Our luck, our whole team will get hit. So it's just like now they're going to talk about bubbling. It's great, Roger. That's great. You're going to do it in the playoffs and still do it. But the fact of the matter is, like, you don't know what this does to teams when you think you're playing on a Sunday and you're not playing, and you're playing on you're going to play Monday. No, then you're going to play Tuesday. No, you're going to play Wednesday. And then teams can't practice. They can't do anything. Make sense? So you just screw a team. And you screw all the teams by doing it. And you say everybody's on an even playing field. No, they're not, because not everybody's got hit with stuff that other teams got hit with. That they had to deal with players missing. So I don't know. I just think it's a disservice to the game when you could try to figure out a better way to do it, and you sort of had semi blueprints ahead of you by 3 different sports. So this is Roger thinking he can do whatever the hell he wants. But guess what? To a fan like myself right now, you're hurting your goddamn product. Falling asleep in a fucking rivalry game. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke that the best players are on the field because of stubbornness. And because, you got to figure a little bit more out. Okay. Sit down with a couple extra people and figure out a way that you can make sure all your stars play unless they're hurt. Unless they're hurt. We watch sports for stars. I don't watch sports for cute fucking stories. You understand? Look at it. The practice squad wide receiver. Oh, my God. And then ESPN's going to blow the guy for completing one pass. Shut up.
Was he the AFC Player of the Week?
It might have been. Was he?
I don't know.
I'll go hunt somebody down. Don't say that right now. I will hunt somebody down. I'll stop watching sports all the time.
Could have been the SEC Special Teams Player of the Week.
Could have been the Eagles Player of the Week. But that's about it. And yes, Malik Beasley is crazy, and Scottie Pippen's wife's an issue. But that's a crumb for tomorrow. I'm saving that one because I heard it other places today, so I didn't want to piggyback off.
I don't even know what it is. I didn't hear.
We'll get it. You know, it's just he sleeps.
I'll watch your video tomorrow.
Yeah, she sleeps around. But the fact of the matter is, I just want to see the better players, right? And like Baltimore's a good team. They don't faze me because they're in the AFC. You know, they're good. They're good. They're a football team that's put together well.
Yep.
And like if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm pissed, and we would be pissed too.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking at it from fans of everybody else. If I'm a Broncos fan, I'm fucking furious. I'm flipping out. Right, guys?
Yeah, I mean they had an outside. I mean they weren't making the playoffs, but they still had a chance to. And I think they were on like a winning streak. They've been playing better football.
And all these guys are fine. Drew Lock could have played tonight. So play again tonight.
Yeah, that's the only one that I really question is like
you got to question. You got to question the Ravens too, though, because
no. I'm just saying like I don't necessarily agree with that you could bubble the NFL, but to your point though, why'd you push the Ravens back, but you couldn't push Denver? You forced Denver to play, but you couldn't force the Ravens. And I know you couldn't force the Ravens because they couldn't have filled a team. Well, you couldn't field a competent quarterback. Like, come on.
Real quick to the bubble of the NFL, right? The only blueprint they really had that was close to what they needed would have been baseball, in a way. But baseball didn't bubble, right?
To the playoffs.
But they play every day.
But that was their blueprint to it in a way. But you're right, they play every day, so they're not traveling. They can't escape as much, right? They don't have as many activities planned.
Get all this room for activities.
So it's
no power tools. No power tools.
And these are young guys, right? So these are young guys. Professional athletes or not. You know they're not going to be perfect, right? You know what I'm saying? So you know it's going to hit locker rooms in some fashion. So I know it's a lot of people. I understand it. They're also billions upon billion-dollar company, right? So they have all the resources to be able to do whatever they want. And I tell you, players would not be opting out like you think they would. I think the same amount of players that opted out at the beginning probably would have seen opt out if they had to go into a bubble situation, right? You would have seen some, but it wouldn't have been anything crazy. But at the end of the day, teams don't have to go through this crap because it's not fair for any team not to go through this crap, honestly.
No.
When they were the last one to go off, right? And they did it fine for a little bit, but then we knew winter was going to, they should be smart enough to know, like wintertime, guess what's going to happen probably again? Summer's easy, right? Like summer we now know is a little bit easier, smooth sound. But winter, like now they know it's coming. That's why Goodell's bubbling. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen to the NBA now. If they're, but they play a lot too, which eliminates, but the NBA players run around a little bit. So, you know what I mean? I mean, Lou stuck out for some wings at a strip club. So, I can't expect NBA players to be perfect. So, I'm curious to see how these sports are going to handle because I just don't want to miss seeing the better players play. I don't want to be seeing G League guys. I don't watch NBA for G League. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch the G League. So I want to see them. I want to see the best players play. We're so excited about the Sixers. I don't want to be like, guess what? Got Ben and Joe for a minute. Oh, that's fun. See you guys next year.
Philly, go back a couple videos. Tom did a good Middleton rant either yesterday or the day before.
It was like
so I know you're on YouTube, so
Saturday?
Go back a couple videos. It's on there.
Yeah, it's on there. I flipped out, dude. Felt good. I can't do it again right now, though. Too late. They could have did it in Vegas. Anything can be done in Vegas, right? Because you have the you have the hotels to pull it off in a way.
Yep.
So you have the space in a way. And if you're paying Vegas for that, they're just freaking shutting shit down for your ins and outs. You know what I mean? They're like shutting down a couple of hotels for you.
They offered it last spring. They offered the Strip.
Yeah, I mean they'll offer it again. They don't care because you're paying them. You're paying.
They're getting money. They're getting money regardless.
They're cleaning up off of that deal. That's why the NFL didn't want to do it. They're like, hold on. How much?
You're charging us what? You're charging us what?
How much? Slide across the table.
But look at what's been going on too. UFC again, smaller scale, but UFC and boxing has been exclusively almost in Vegas, at least in the United States. You know, throughout the last couple of weeks.
Oh, they just been in Vegas. You're saying
Just been every show's been in Vegas.
And you try to get these guys in there early, and then
so exactly.
So you know the fight's going to go off because that's all people want. Like people want stuff to go off, and they want the stars to be involved. And I think I'm speaking for every fan out there that just like, yo, I'm not a Lamar Jackson guy, but I'd rather see him than RG3 today. I mean, I think they make the game a little bit more exciting, right?
Or Trace McSorley.
Yeah, and Trace McSorley. This is a joke. It's not even about Lamar. It's about the whole. It's happened to a bunch of teams, and it's
about looking at it. I completely agree with you, Tom. It's like looking at the Ravens and saying, "Okay, I have to judge this game because it's one of 16 and it's against a division rival." But it's not. I wasn't watching the Ravens today. That was not the Ravens. You know what I mean?
They might not have been the Ravens all year, but it goes to show you they've missed 9 Pro Bowlers throughout the year at some point.
Yep.
So I mean, sure, you're not going to be the same team.
And this year has become the year of the backdoor cover. Like, don't have a team up big because you're getting backdoored.
You're true. TTP, yeah, I agree. TTP about Russell Westbrook. He automatically makes them into like an 8 seed. Automatically, I think when he walks through the door.
You missed it, Tom. There were people when you were off camera and we were doing like the teams that got worse. A ton of people in the chat said the Rockets got better because they got rid of Westbrook. I mean, come on. I understand. Like, I'm not a Westbrook guy, but that's disrespectful.
It's a fucking contract, you clueless jabrones. I mean, Richard, yeah, I don't know who the people are constantly want to give us thumbs down. Like, I don't know what we would do for thumbs down besides like read off everybody's comments, get everybody involved with us, have conversations. It's agree to disagree radio. We don't expect people to always agree with me. I say a lot of shit, so I don't expect everybody to agree. I think people just don't like me. So I mean, I think there's a couple kittens, and we don't gotta name names. They just go hunting for videos, and like I got a dislike on a Thanksgiving video. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god, we got shredded. I'm like, what do we do?
Thankful for stuff. I mean, God, 2020. The only time you get shredded when you're supposed to be thankful.
Maybe they didn't like the music in the background. I don't know. Maybe it was the wrong taste in music.
All right, fam. We appreciate you joining us. You can get all your A2D gear. Still 25% off PhillyDrinkers.com. Page is A2D Radio. You find us on there, 25% off. And for all your team merch, all
get yourself a Tumblr.com.
Discount code A2D for 15% off. All your team hats. So whatever team you're a fan of, head on over there. Get yourself 15% off. All campus OC. Use discount code A2D. Another great show, boys. Ton of fun.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Listen, we thank all you guys for getting in here. We appreciate all you guys. Billy, Bobby Eagles, Swa, Ted FX, David, Sariq, Mike McFly just got in, it looks like. What's up, brother? Philly, we appreciate you. Richard, TTP is always in the house. Gabriel, Don's always here. Don's a lifer. Marquise, trying to read everybody. Steelers fan feeling good right now. You jabron. Philly sports passion. He's feeling real good. He's feeling so good. Bobby Eagles, I think I already said that. Yusuf, if you're still here, everybody, man. There's so many of you. Kendra was listening. So, Don, stay safe, fam. We love you. Tomorrow night, you got Birds of a Feather, Hockey Happy Hour here on HUD Radio. So, set your alerts, your reminders. Friday night, Fan Friday, 9 o'clock. Going to be a ton of fun. Jump on with us. Come debate. Come conversate. Let's go. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Delvecchio, Greg Moakwick, Frank Vespi not with us right now. And every show brought to you by our doc, make them yours. Dr. Paul.
Thanks, Ted.
Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations.
No, No.
I said Princeton on that one because I was tired.
No.
I didn't say it the whole time. Okay? I didn't say it at the beginning.
Thanks, Molly.
Stay safe. Turn your alert.